slogan. Move it up so I can just see this on my Hangout. To see if this is facing the right way. Add a slogan. Move it up so I can just see this on my Hangout. Okay, good. We're good to go there. We're broadcasting. Okay. Very good. What's up? Oh, that phone was our phone, Doomzilla. Yes. Okay. That's funny, 3156. Hi, Diamond Dave. I think I'm going to give David this chair. It's not my favorite.
You don't have to pull the legalization thing.
Well, I can take the legalization thing off. It doesn't matter to me. I was just testing to make sure that our YouTube video is recording the correct way.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm totally awesome. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, goodness. How are you, David?
Great.
Oh, you look really nice.
Well, I decided to wear a dress shirt in my old Oxford tie from way back. It is kind of funeral-ish, isn't it?
What?
Yeah.
What? Do I look funeral-ish? Maybe we both look funeral-ish.
I do feel like I'm at a funeral.
You look like a Kennedy.
The shirt doesn't go with the suit. Okay, let's try something else. Hang on.
Really?
Yeah, I agree. Let's go with just.
Okay.
Let's go with just the shirt. How's that? Let's try the shirt.
Yeah, the shirt looks nice.
How's that? Better? Yeah. Does that feel better? It's Saturday night. I don't know. It's Saturday night. And then that's already. Yeah, very nice. Okay.
Hello, Dead 2009. Hi, Diamond Dave 66. Hi, Doomzilla. Hi, Ham Beast. Hi, Jerry's Deli.
Mexico's third party. I didn't realize Mexico was developing a third party. That's interesting. Good.
Hello, Modney. Hello, my dogs don't cry. Hi, Smoke Break. Hi, Springtime. Hi, Topper Dan. Hi, UK0121. And hi, Irish Bug.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Everyone getting high?
Hi, ho. Oh.
I hate Mexico, Doomzilla says. Okay. Well, you don't have to go to Mexico. You can hate it all you want, man. What's the point of hating something? You get a derived satisfaction from hatred?
It's
Gringo.
What? Well, Modney, I guess we'd have to call him. I'd have to go look up his number, which I have no idea.
Carl's a very secretive, or I should say private guy. He's a very private guy, and he's had a lot of harassment online, as you know. So, yeah, I don't have Carl's number. No, Carl calls me. I don't call him. It's not a wig, dude.
Are you talking about my hair? I know.
No,
nice
they're
wig.
talking about me. They keep thinking I wear a wig.
You see how short my hair really is in real life.
Oh, yeah, short.
When I take my wig off.
I think your hair looks great. The shampoo really worked this time around.
Yeah, it's got that.
I helped Sarah with the shampoo today.
They gave me some great shampoo.
Yeah, we found this product at Trader Joe's for $2.99. It's really outstanding. It does a fantastic job. It's completely natural. I was reading the ingredients. They're like willow bark and echinacea and no lauryl sulfate in it. Hey, I got to tell you, Shrek, I'm not going to unban you.
What's the chat problem? Yeah, TV2. Shot problem?
Yeah. Shrek. Yeah, we're not going to unban you, Shrek. I don't know why you keep calling here. I caught you in chat just railing on me, just running me down, telling people that my efforts were in vain or wait. You were making really negative statements about me, and I really believe that. Yeah, Meow TV, the viewer list isn't normal right now.
Oh, mine does on a pop out. I'm using a pop out screen, and the viewer list shows up.
There's no gayness about Carl. Carl's actually a heterosexual man. I don't know why you think he's gay.
No, we don't lurk in other channels. We do lurk on our gaming show.
Well, Smoke Break, you can take that chance either way at the end of your life to decide whether you want to live on another planet. But for this time, this space, this is all we've got. That's why I think Stephen Hawking really is wrong when he tells us that we should get off the planet. I think we need to purge the planet of evil and the bad people that are trying to control the resources. I really believe that we, as average people, have a huge fight ahead to retain what is by birthright ours. Everyone born, every human being has a right to this. And we shouldn't let a group of finite Wall Street executives control the future of our great nation. The viewer list with names, yeah, Meow TV. Is that your wife? No, Sarah. Sarah's not my wife. She's my partner in this business. And yeah, we have a very practical, I would say, companionship-based relationship. You saw Stephen Hawking beat his wife on on Family Guy. I think that was a caricature. Sarah and I are companions for life, partners in this business and life. You know, she looks great. I think her hair is awesome today. My hair is not artificial. So people are saying, David, are you wearing a wig or something? And there's nothing artificial about me. I'm not even wearing my fake teeth tonight. I'm a real average guy who has an above average intelligence. So I'm here to help. Anything I can do to help the country, I will. And that's why we're sitting in what was Ronald Reagan's White House, 1981. This is what it looked like in the background. Yeah, so Shrek, I'm not going to be able to give you any help here. I'm not going to be able to unban you. So stop calling. I'm using a lot of visualization. I'm hoping everyone can pre-visualize what 2016 will be like. Well, believe me, Drag King, those teeth are really not adjusted right. I am a genius. Those teeth are just not right. Once they get right, I'll be happy to wear them. Yeah, before the staining of the walls and the Newport cigarettes.
Don't mind that over there.
What's that?
Right there.
Oh yeah, the staining of the carpet. There's no stain in that carpet.
It's a shadow.
It looks like a heart in the carpet over there. I thought she was pointing to the closet. I was like, let me close the closet because you know, there's no point in having. We are nested between two closets, walk-in closets in the back of a room here. It's kind of nice. We're broadcasting from this location because our previous studio didn't have an Ethernet direct connection, so we brought the studio into the Ethernet connection. It's kind of it's like weird doing a show between two closets, but I kind of like the space, and it works well for both of us, except I use her armrest, and she doesn't like that because I'm constantly I'm moving her chair.
Back, yeah, and then it just causes my back to kind of get
so
out of alignment.
I'm thinking of strapping myself into kind of like a chair right here where everything will be just perfect, and I can do the show with total perfection.
It would be better if you had this chair so you could put your arms on the armrest where they belong, because I never put my arms on the armrest because I think there's something about my torso. You have
a longer torso?
Well, I have a long torso, and so my arms.
Please donate. Yeah, that would be great.
I just don't feel natural on an armrest.
Donate hair today. Do you have a cul-de-sac in my head? Is that what you're saying, Night Fox? Don't let men have cul-de-sacs on their head. I have a cul-de-sac on my head here somewhere.
Well, Sulan, you can walk me through it step by step, because I can stretch out the image like this. I mean, I can easily...
Yeah, please donate. But it doesn't go to my hair.
Stretch it out, but I'll show you what happens.
Lewinsky vows Republican now.
See, it
the Democrats left a bad taste in their mouth. That's a good joke. How many chats have you been in with that same joke, Cambeast? Would that be your 50th time? I have naturally great hair, Night Fox. Yeah. I don't like the stretched out look. I look kind of like a hemorrhoid.
David doesn't like being stretched out. Is that what you're talking about?
What you said about Hawkins makes me think you're a closet Nazi. No, Buck. I'm afraid you're wrong, Buck. Hawkins wants to escape the planet because he doesn't believe we can do anything with it. He doesn't want to discuss the secret societies that are modifying the globe and the climate and the earth and the environment. He doesn't want to talk about improving the society that we live in.
Well, it's a Logitech QuickCam Pro 9000.
Let me get rid of this Rod thing. Hang on.
That's what it is.
Rod is really a messed up person. So, yeah. No, I am not a nationalist, and that's a lie too. Anyone who says anything other than I'm a centrist, I'm fighting to unite the American people, I'm not a racist. Anyone who calls me a racist will be banned. We have a pretty much a strong position on uniting the country, and anyone who doesn't want to unite the country can be damned and banned. Get the hell out of here. So you Republicans and Democrats who want to fight and hate each other, I don't want you in the room. Unless you really are concerned about the real problems in the country and getting us out of this war. This is the anti-war rally, everybody. We don't want to be in a war with Iraq or Syria. It's kind of amazing how Barack Obama is getting away with unbelievable atrocities as a president, violations of his executive power. It looks like he doesn't need approval from Congress to start wars now. Libya, he didn't ask for approval. Started a war there and disemboweled Muammar Gaddafi. Bobcat Bob says he's a longtime supporter that can verify that I'm not a racist. Thank you, Bobcat Bob. I'm not accusing Hawkins of what he did in his youth. You know, I'm not here to revere him either. He's actually sounding lately like he has dementia. Yeah, you're right. He's not really, he's defying the laws of physiology, really, that he's still alive. Smoke Break says that guy who was in a prison in North Korea was a pretty interesting video. Well, Gino, man, let me tell you, in a way, you're right. Muammar Gaddafi actually gave his people, all of the citizens of Libya, $695 each when the 2008 mortgage debacle occurred. He actually helped all of his citizens. America didn't give their citizens anything, not a penny. Hawkins made fun of a wheelchair even before he needed one. Well, I'm sure Robin Williams would have made fun of suicide even before he committed autoerotic asphyxiation. Have you heard that Robin Williams may have done that? Isn't that weird? Gas isn't down 25 cents. They're just getting ready to bounce it up 50 cents. They just give you a little dip before they edge you up. That's a typical maneuver by the oil companies. Oh, I know. You're not racist.
No. Chapstick. I own Chapstick.
Well, see, David Carradine didn't do autoerotic asphyxiation. His brother, Keith Carradine, the singer and actor, spent lots of money investigating it and found out it was a homicide. So I'm of the belief that Robin Williams' death was a homicide, not autoerotic asphyxiation. I'm hot without makeup? You mean Sarah? Okay.
I take it you're a girl, Cambeast.
Cambeast really is liking the hair. You see, the hair is everything to these.
Well,
guys.
David got my hair going today.
Well, I'm very attracted to brunettes, as you know, and Sarah's hair was hand tended by David today. I helped her with her infusion of various natural conditioners. Well, his wife is a possibility. She has the modus operandi. His wife had known of many affairs that Robin Williams was in. Thank you. Did David ruffle you? No. What Eurocentric doctrines do you support? I don't support any Eurocentric doctrines. I'm against a global new world order. I'm against the EU developing into a great power. I think that the whole thing is a preposterous concoction of a bunch of monarchs that are trying to hold on to their power.
Thank you.
Sarah is a brunette. I'm attracted to brunettes. So that's not
Meaning
awkward. Sarah, yeah. I mean, that's not awkward to be attracted to brunettes.
Suzanne, like Meow TV2 says, we have a Logitech 9000, and I guess that's a 4.3 camera.
Yeah, so we have a 4.3 perspective right now, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, his wife didn't check him for like 12 hours. She could have done it. And it's very strange that Robin Williams was in a position that wouldn't have killed him. I'm not a communist. No, in fact, my family has fought communism since the 50s. My family, believe it or not, was instrumental. And I'll tell you about this in my biography coming up. My family was instrumental in stopping the spread of communism in America in the 1950s. Without the work that my parents did, ironically, we would have seen communism spread like wildfire through the entire film industry, not to mention the society. I don't go camping anymore, Drag King, ever since the radiation levels peaked over 100 CMDs. I'm keeping pretty much underground most of the time. I want to preserve myself so I can lead this nation through the next 50 years, whether I'm alive or dead.
Yes, good job.
Communism has not spread. It had an implosion effect. The communists that did get into our society, into our government, went in through the academic realm. The academic communists embedded themselves in the White House. I mean, you see it all over. You know, William Ayers, he literally visits Obama on a regular basis. No, I mean like a guy who's going to help with renewable energy solutions to our country's problems. I want to work, you know, to develop solutions, kind of like Clinton's global initiative. I haven't done anything. Yeah, that's the problem. I need to have power in order to accomplish things. But hey, Dave, who's the Antichrist? Well, you never know. It could be anybody. It's hard to say. Are you the Antichrist? Well, please don't use the N-word, guest, but you could talk about gay liberal lovers on our show. I'm not wearing my teeth today. you know, notice how I don't even smile very much. It's nothing like my regular elevated fake teeth Dave look, where I'm almost in hyperspace. If I look like I'm really bloated, it's because I ate a big meal today. I did one of my buffet days, 3,000 calories of Pacific salmon and free range chicken. I know. I mean, I'm just sitting here in a state of almost food orgasm bliss. Oh, I know. You know, Pacific salmon, I still eat it, even though, of course, there's a chance it's radiated. Chubby cheeks, yeah. I don't need gay donations. I don't need any donations. Not 3 free-range chicken. I just had some free-range chicken and Pacific salmon for lunch. And some fantastic ice cream made with local milk. And just great, yeah. No, I don't hunt free-range chickens. I find killing animals deplorable, but I love to eat their flesh. Hello. Yeah, we're not entertaining calls from the guy who wants to ride our coattails every night. You know, I don't really do that after the buffet, 289. I have a cycle. My body digests on a daily cycle. I don't need to just eat and then go to the bathroom like some animal. My cat does that. She'll eat and then suddenly go to the bathroom. Is that your daily routine? The buffet was around $8. No, I would never do that. I saw a couple of bag guys do that one time at the same buffet. They had a big plastic bag full of chicken, fried chicken. It was so sad, man. These two kind of like malt liquor, kind of like Ed guys, you know. How you doing, Mr. Tooth? They walked in there and they had this big plastic bag full of, and the guys at the place, the restaurant said, hey, I'm sorry, sir. No, you can't disguise your voice. I know who you are. Do you grow your own vegetables? I do, when they grow. Right now I'm building a various biodomes and hoop houses for the apocalypse. So I'm getting all my fertilizer ready. I'm keeping everything protected from the radiation so that you have a face shot of me, Modney. I don't want that spread here like wildfire. No, not poop houses, but you could call them poop houses. I store fertilizer there for the upcoming apocalypse. They're called hoop houses. And I'm building these hoop houses for under $100 a piece. Actually, my total bill is like 100. It's amazing. Yeah, well, you're supposed to get a lot of food. Yeah, you get a lot of food in your belly, 3,000 calories, and then go home and then just vegetate for the next 2-3 days. It's a way of saving money, actually. Yeah, David, I have a question. How in the hell does our government know who is ISIS and who isn't, so they are just bombing whoever they feel is ISIS? Boy, Guest 237 just came up with the very problem of the war that we are seeing unfold under Obama. I like Vladimir Putin. I would work toward negotiating with him. I think he's a strong leader in his country, and I think we need to show some respect. Obama's done none of that. Obama has actually been a completely useless president, creating a crisis with Russia. But yeah, who is ISIS? Who's ISIL? Are they wearing little RFID chips? Frankly, they probably are. They're probably all CIA agents. And somebody said there's a lot of like European-looking people in these forces. Well, yeah, it's because they're all CIA pretending to be Euro spies. No, you see, that's the problem. This isn't his show, and this is my show. And I worked for 6 years to get the show to the point where we can actually talk about politics and not be sidetracked. And I believe that the guy just doesn't have anything to say. Everything he says, he usually just rages against Muslims. Now, here's the Iranian foreign minister on the U.S. strategy on the Islamic State. This is interesting.
In our view, the response should come from the region and supported by the international community, not the other way around. We have been cooperating with the government of Iraq and the government of the regional government of Kurdistan in order to defeat these terrorists, because we consider these terrorists a threat to all nations in the region and beyond, because of all these foreign fighters that you have.
So you and President Obama are really on the same page on this. That is, that international community can assist maybe from the air, training and equipping, but not getting involved on the ground?
Well, I believe the Iraqis themselves are quite capable of liberating their territory. What the international community needs to do is to prevent assistance to the terrorists, which has been coming, unfortunately, over the past 3-4 years from various quarters in the region and outside the region.
So you're talking about Saudi Arabia, some of the other Gulf states that help with financing and training. You're talking about Turkey that's allowed foreign fighters to cross over into Iraq and Syria?
Well, I'm not in the...
You know, he doesn't want to talk about the elephant in the closet, which is, I would not like to say that it is very possible that the CIA has been funding all of these terrorist actions. I mean, he's trying to play both. Remember, basically, Obama just gave Rouhani, what, $7 billion? And we didn't get anything in exchange? Nothing? So this guy's just trying to schmooze everybody. I'm trying to schmooze the world. Everything I say is just a kiss-ass thing to say. So we don't know what he's trying to really say. It's like interviewing a doorknob. Hello, doorknob. How are you? Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, you can't get a solid statement from him. He's trying to sell you something. Hello, my good friend, let me sell you something. Come into my country, look around. Just do not look for enriched uranium, but give us $7 billion. Yeah, Obama really struck a good one there. He gives $7 billion to Iran and we get nothing in return. Yeah, we're talking about a failed political policy right down the line. CIA gave over 600 tons of weapons to ISIS to fight Assad. Check that out. Thank you. You are right on, man. Guest 188 says the CIA gave over 600 tons of weapons to ISIS, Al-Qaeda to fight Assad. Thank you. We just authorized $500 million to give to the rebels, whatever that means. Can I go like this without sounding or looking in any way different than I normally do? My favorite scary movie was Scream 4. Scream 4 by far rocks as a scary movie. Not. Dave, why are we changing their name to Confusing Public? You know, why keep changing their name to Confusing Public? I don't know. They're trying to confuse the public. That's the point. They don't want the public to ask questions. Oh, Carl's fine, I'm sure. I just haven't talked to him. No, there is no toupee on my head. This is my real hair. God, what? You guys are so jealous. You don't even know what good hair is. Great hair. What do you mean good hair? I have great hair. You know, when I was born, my mother said, David, you got great hair. I know. Some people have it, some people don't. There's no toupee up. I have no toupee on. David, if you know if Rodney, what? David, you know if Rodney doesn't want to cam up because he doesn't have the ability to come up with new material. He can't talk about what's really going on. I mean, he gropes for ideas. When I catch him off guard, he's like, Rodney wouldn't cut it in a professional sense, in any comedic sense, on any venue. He just wouldn't. Yeah. Okay, look at these guys. Cancer killed 3 9/11 firefighters on the same day. Isn't that weird? Yeah, cancer has a ticking time bomb that decided to just say, hey, I'm not bi and I'm not gay. I'm a straight man. What about straight do you not understand? Thank you. Oh, you sent that link? Well, thank you, Modney. Well, that's great. You're working on providing me with material, and that's as a start. It's about time you did that. Well, maybe I'll take your call next time you call in. Give it another try. Awesome Carl, he lives. Awesome Carl is alive, everybody. Awesome Carl, there were people pretending to be Molly, coming in here with Molly's name, claiming that you had passed away. I'm so glad you came in and dispensed with all these accusations and lies. Oh, you're in the ER? Are you okay? Wow. Carl is a great singer. I've seen a lot of his work on YouTube. I'm quite impressed with his singing ability. I think he could easily be top material, like you know, America's Top Idol or whatever. America's Idol. I'm thinking of America's Top Model mixed with American Idol. But yeah, Carl's he's up there. He's definitely capable. Okay, let's talk about a guy known as Robert Oppenheimer, who actually believed that he was being manipulated into doing the unthinkable, working literally to create a nuclear bomb to destroy the Japanese. Sad, isn't it? Let's hear what he's saying.
Takes on multi-armed form and says, now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Wow. Prophetic words.
I suppose we all felt that one way or another.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that again. This is Robert Oppenheimer, everybody. Let's hear it.
The world would not be the same. Two people laughed. Two people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from
The Baghdad Vita.
Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I suppose we all thought that one way or another.
Robert Oppenheimer, he touched me, by the way. He put his hands on my mother's body when I was a kid, with a little baby in her womb. Kind of sad in a way, because he really didn't want to create the bombs that killed all those people in Hiroshima. Well, let's be clear. Make no mistake about it. You're the real Carl. Even David can confirm that, right? Your spelling confirms that, Awesome Carl. Yeah, Awesome Carl's alive, everybody. He's here. he has come back. So, there's a lot of negativity. I was telling Sarah today, there's so many people that are so hateful on the internet. It's disgusting what our society has become. Yeah, he created the bomb. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were taken out with that bomb, and he felt so bad about it, but the military-industrial complex threatened him to create that bomb, threatened his family. Pretty sad, isn't it? So he bore a tremendous amount of guilt for the coming apocalypse. No, I do not speak Japanese. Arigato. You're my brother from another mother. I'm not Jewish. Are you Norwegian or Germanic, or what's your background? Get a job. Now look at Ed. Ed's saying I should get a job. Thank you, Arizonian. I love somebody too. I guess you love me. He was flirting with my mom in a way. My mom was the only woman working at United Space Technologies. And I'm a politically correct racist. No, I'm not bisexual. Even though you're attracted to me and you don't know what gender you are, I'm not bisexual. I'm part Viking. My family, I'm 6'4", 220 pounds. My family were Vikings. I'm a descendant of Leif Erikson. Yes. More blackface, please. Thanks in advance. You've been saying that for 3 years now in No Way Affiliated. I don't bisexual. No, I would never spend any money for sex. That's what you're asking me. David, who taught you the voiceovers and teach me how to do them? Lollipop Sucker? Well, I studied under some professional voiceover artists back in the 80s. I did some training sessions, and I learned on my own. Well, make no mistake about it. Well, let's be clear. We're going to do surgical strikes all over the world, including America, because we found that ISIS is in America. I wouldn't doubt Barack Obama is going to have some surgical strikes to attack some of the neighborhoods. I feel like I'm under attack every day. We've got the Whidbey Naval Air Station flying above us. It's not a Lacoste shirt, no. I don't have a t-shirt. The First Lady is in the other room, adorning herself with some makeup or something. They are on loan from God. I'm just here to fill in space. Who I am and what I'm all about is just to serve a greater good, whatever that is. We all wonder what the greater good is, you know. I'm in the Oval Office of my mind. I'm not gay, and I'm not coming out of the closet because I'm not in the closet. I'm actually sitting next to the closet. We got 2 walk-in closets right next to us. No, your fans will not come and stay with us. We live in kind of a DARPA program. What? No, I didn't grow up in the DARPA program. I'm thinking of that show Lost, you know, where everyone lives underground and they have a hatch. Great show if you haven't seen it. Well, let's be clear. WTF, Dave, when does the show start? You know, that makes you look like a Rodney impersonator by saying that. It's funny how you say that. Well, I'm hoping to get some support from somebody. Maybe my support hose. You're an SS Army? Oh my God. I was never part of the SS Army. There's this Sponheims. In fact, there was a Sponheim up there in Oslo, Norway, who was overseeing the police force during the time that Anders Breivik killed 77 people in that island off of Oslo. One of my relatives in Norway was in the police department there, filling in as temporary head of police. I'm not. It's just I just look great, man. I deal with it. I know, Modney. Techwalla wanted to make money promoting me on Twitter, and I would have had like 500,000 Twitter hits by now if I just paid him. You see how I screwed up? I still only have 750 Twitter followers. Actually, we lost 2 a couple days ago. Yeah, well, my family came from North Dakota. Thanks for that. I never did porn in LA. No, I was a voiceover artist. I did TV production. But I never did porn. I don't believe in cheapening myself for the purpose of maintaining my integrity for the presidency, you know? You're using hair fibers. You're saying I basically sprayed my head with hair fibers? That's weird. You don't like Guest Chat? Well, they're not spamming yet, Arizonian 86. Yes, the Apollo landing was real. My mother worked on the Apollo program, the Gemini program, and the Saturn program. I never did cocaine. People wanted me to do cocaine. I used to go to those parties with, you know, all the people from 90210, literally the people before they became 90210. And I'm not naming names, but man, that bathroom was unavailable. All I could hear was this chopping sound and sniffing sounds in the background. It's like, could I use the bathroom? Yeah, man. It's like, isn't there like another apartment down the street? Yeah, I actually met all those people early on, before they even became famous. When Jason Priestley was 17 years old. That's when I met him. What is he doing now? I mean, you know, you got to wonder. Images kind of range, you know. I remember when he was just this guy who hung out with these 3 beautiful women in Beverly Hills, you know. That's him now. Or is it? Or is that an older picture, you know? Anyway, I haven't seen him in any movies lately. USA is best as long as there's a buffet. Always gives me a full plate. Why would I care about you? That's pretty much the sum total of America now. ADT, yeah, Carl's saying hi. It was scheduled to be a 902. No, I was not ever part of the 90210 staff. I was rejected by all the Hollywood professionals, even the people at that group, because I didn't do what they did in the bathroom. I'm not saying Jason Priestley did that. I'm just saying there were people there that were doing coke. Because I wasn't part of their little clique in Hollywood, you get blacklisted. Well, that's the whole point. I mean, if you don't do blow, they blow you off. Yeah. It's not who you know, it's who you do blow with. Is that what the saying is? Now, I've not heard of the Hollywood Star Whackers. I've heard there was a group of people that believe that there's hits out on various Hollywood stars. I've heard of that. You do lots of blow, that's why I'm famous. Oh, I didn't know Guest 545 was famous. I have a great big stand. No, on Molokai, my stand is I don't support war. I have to write this on the board for all of you. We are non-interventionists. I'll put this on the board for all of you. Non-interventionism equals no war. We are non-interventionists. That's what makes us different than the 2 parties. We don't want to go over and fight other people's wars, okay? That's the best way to describe what we are. We believe, did I do shrooms? No, I didn't. Okay. You're talking about mushrooms? I have done garden variety of mushrooms, yeah. I mean, in my salad. No, we would probably not be speaking German, Amy, because I'm a very strong person. I would have sided with Churchill and we would have defeated Hitler. My father fought in World War II, Amy. 3 tours of duty. I'm not just staring at people. Psychedelics are not something I plan on doing. I already have a rich imagination. Well, let's be clear. David is a pacifist. He doesn't want to start more wars around the world. Now, I did support surgical strikes in Iraq, but that's as far as I went because I knew that we had to give what was Prime Minister Maliki's regime a chance to hold itself together. And ironically, I said this 2 months before Obama started the surgical strikes. That's right, Minstrel, you remember. And it did work, but I would never expand the theater of war to include Syria, Yemen, Tunisia. I mean, where else are they going to bomb? Sandwich, I concluded that I saved about $12.95 making my own jalapeno hot sauce. I remember that it was Amy's a real doctor. Wow, I'm impressed. Maybe she can make a donation, considering she hasn't donated a penny. It's kind of amazing. Person making $400,000 a year. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm torn up about what to do with this guy. Yeah, what do you want? I'm okay, man. What's up? No, I'm doing great. I'm on an uptone. I just am negative whenever I talk to you because I don't know why you're calling. What's your question? You're a big fan of the show? A big fan of the show who constantly runs us down and calls us names? I don't think so. Who are you kidding, man? What do you normally BS people when you call them? Well, it's not constructive and it's not good. So you're wasting my time and ours. So thanks for calling, though. Carl's not in the hospital. He's in the room right here, right now, and you're trying to spread. Oh yeah, I want to know, Carl. Why are you in the emergency? Let me put Rodney on. Something incredible here.
Ask him what he got stuck in his rectum this time.
That's disgusting. See what I mean? I put him on the air, and he says the worst possible thing. You know,
Ridiculous.
it is ridiculous. Carl, what's wrong? And your ER, everything okay?
This is a cool story about you.
Really? No kidding. Wow. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not in the mainstream media as well as none of the presidents I wish to debate them. Yeah. We understand the government is admitted to trying to control the internet and is also hiring trolls in order to harass honest people in their web shows. So you be the judge. Yeah. Boy, that's a really cool article. Thank you very much, Carl. Who could that be?
No, I just used some great shampoo. I didn't curl my hair. The screen closed on food. You have a big gash and a possible infection. Oh.
You have an infection? I'm so sorry. Okay, what's up? Hello, hello, hello. What's up?
Wow, Carl, very good.
I'm Triple, stuck in Carol.
Sarah is beautiful, and we're both happy to be here. We're not. This is no beauty contest. We're not trying to be beautiful. We're just trying to be people. Sarah has never done drugs.
No, I did take a little nap though.
Well, Iraq was a strong ally, and we wanted to maintain that presence. I never wanted to ratify the war with Iraq, but I thought that since we did invest 5,000 dead American troops and $1.5 billion $1.5 trillion in infrastructure that we wanted to maintain at least a strong position and better use it. In fact, I have a design to actually work with them to trade with oil and monitor their safety by providing weapons-free safe zones that they will build, not our government, not our army, but their army. All these ideas are part of a long-term plan of containment. My foreign policy is one of containment, very similar to Harry S. Truman's containment policy in 1946. I don't side with the global world authorities like Henry Kissinger, who want low-intensity conflict, preemptive strikes. I believe that those are taking our nation into a natural position, draining its resources, creating a huge behemoth military which will never pay for itself, ever. There's never going to be any money coming back from our military. We can't even collect on the debt of 5 F-15s we sold to Egypt. We're still waiting on payment from those. Thank you. No, Sarah's always working. It's not about yawning and napping. David, you already took, you got 3 more hours of battery on your laptop? Thank goodness, awesome. Well, great, thanks for coming in and telling us about your life. I hope you're on the right meds to deal with your infection. Yeah, tell everybody about how the US government gave a virus to millions to see if penicillin worked and they failed. Lollipop sucker, thank you. You have amnesia? I'm sorry. My head is very long.
My hair is very long.
Oh, your hair is very long. Oh,
I'm probably going to cut it at Christmas.
okay. Well, we're going to make one of those locks of love thing again?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna cut a foot.
This will be your 3rd locks of love. You've already got 2, right?
I think 2 or 3.
She has ever since I met Sarah, we've been making these locks of love things. But we don't send them to locks of love because we're fearful that maybe somebody might get them and use them in voodoo. I'd hate to have my hair used in a voodoo doll.
It doesn't happen until the first Tuesday in November, Carl.
I don't know why the
I mean-
government lies to you. It's owned by, operated by monetary elitists. Go ahead.
You already know David didn't win the primary, so there's David's running for as a write-in in the state house. Then
Yeah, U.S.
House.
554 says, why the heck would you cut it? You look so much better now than you did before.
Thank you.
Well, you look great with long hair, and I've urged you to retain your long hair, so keep it up. When we take swims in our swim spa, which is part of the deal, I can't take calls from you, man. You're just worthless. Running down our friend Carl, making accusations of him not being well. I mean, all this stuff. Yeah, I am planning on doing commercials for the 2016 campaign. I cut a couple last week. I'm even thinking of running commercials in the local election as a write-in candidate against Rick Larson. I know that sounds wild, but frankly, I'm planning on running against him in 2016 while I run for president across the nation. So it's going to be interesting. I'm thinking of running some spots right now to tell people that they cheated in the local election. Most of my signs were taken away.
Do you believe in the jump routes to Mars just south of LAX that the DARPA program built? I don't know a lot about those. I'd have to research some more.
Jump rooms to Mars, I didn't even realize they existed. Are you talking about wormholes out of Area 51? Oh yeah, I took one of those rides to Mars, sure. Not. God. Don't tell lies is the way to win. I agree, Sniper One. I've been chronic at least one time, really. I don't swing. Sarah doesn't swing. We don't even get involved in heavy petting or cuddle parties. We're very kind of limited in our social life. There are people like the granddaughter of Dwight D. Eisenhower, the former president, who claims that Mars trips are going on, and she's been offering people information about her trips to Mars, all this. So we're in the in that modality here. Eisenhower. And she's quite the woman, I must say. She's a outspoken person. Let's see if I have a copy of her talking. No. Yeah, I really don't want to talk about aliens today. We have a show on Monday, Conspiracy Monday. I'd much rather do it then. Look, at the problem with creating war, which I think Obama is doing right now, is it is only covering up a huge economic crisis that's looming. You probably know it, but our nation is not recovering. We are not maintaining a better economic growth process. Our growth rate is barely 1% right now. Whatever they're saying in the news is an absolute lie to prop up the Democratic leaders and maybe get a Republican elected. What we're seeing is a real-time virtual stagnation. They call it stagflation, where our economy, people don't get better jobs, the economy stagnates. Maybe there are jobs out there. Maybe their unemployment is relatively low in big terms, but the real unemployment rates are really staggering, 25% or more. So 25% or more of the population really is unemployed. So that makes this world a little bit shaky in terms of spending. Retail is suffering. You're going to see big box stores like Sears and JCPenney's go under pretty soon. We don't wine or dine anybody. No. Non-intervention means non-intervention, but maintaining strong support for our
non-intervention means non-intervention, but maintaining strong support for our non-intervention means non-intervention.
You gotta go to pop-up. You can never go to Vaughn's site. I'm trying to explain that to you.
Thank you. Well, I cannot read IMs.
Sorry. No, you know, being a non-interventionist, I don't want to start wars around the world. I don't want to press into countries like Syria. No, the economy is not improving. The college scholarship funds are not being paid back. There's a 14% default rate enlarging. every day. People aren't paying their money back, their student loans. The money markets are in danger. There's $24 trillion in money markets, $26 trillion in the 401ks. There is a serious potential problem. None of that is backed with any insurance. The FDIC doesn't even have more than 20 or 30 billion dollars to cover trillions of dollars in banks across the country. If there was a run on banks, there would be nobody opening their door right now. Well, I believe intervening in Iraq is a carryover of a previous action. And I don't want to be like Barack Obama and say, well, let's make no mistake about it. Those men died in vain, when referring to the people who died in Iraq. He made it that way. He screwed up by pulling out of Iraq completely. And now he's trying to redress his problems. And he's using my technique of surgical strikes. And now he wants to spread it into other areas. A DGS supporter, yeah, I gave her one of my favorite hair treatments. You know, I took the time to treat her hair properly. No, not an interventionist. I'm a non-interventionist. I'm not seeking new wars with new countries. I'm trying to solidify and maintain the advantage in the region, which is part of the balance of power as it has to exist. What Barack Obama is doing is creating multiple vacuums. Vacuums in Ukraine by seeding them with financial aid, pushing Putin aside, calling him a jackass, creating a potential crisis with Syria. I wouldn't doubt an air war could ensue in the next 2 to 3 months in Syria. Eventually, I'll keep pushing closer and closer to Damascus, and eventually Bashar al-Assad will fight back with all power and get Russia to back him. And within your lifetime, folks, because of the insanity that Bush and the Kissinger Institute and all the people in the Council on Foreign Relations are currently engaged in, true insanity, our nation is going to be looking at a possible air war with Russia in the next year to 2. This is a World War III scenario. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to make you aware of the very bad policies of what Obama is doing. He is creating the climate for a downturned economy with no American jobs production whatsoever. He's creating a vacuum of power in Ukraine, which probably will mean that Russia is going to invade Kiev any day now. And our president is also acting like a cavalier vacationer as he gets off the plane, holding his coffee cup and saluting the troops with his coffee cup. I mean, what kind of an idiot do we have as a president? This guy is absolutely worthless. If he had balls, he'd stand up to the Council on Foreign Relations and Kissinger and all the big money elite, the military-industrial complex that want to use these weapons and test them out. He'd stand up and say, you know, America doesn't need to do that. We can just take care of our country and shore up our borders. But he's not that kind of a guy. He's the kind of guy that continually runs off. He's got an ego problem like you wouldn't believe. My hysteria is not hysteria. It's credible reality checks. You guys are living in a dream world, Topper Dan. Thank you very much, 928. Vaughn is getting better every day. Robert, we're not going to allow you in the chat. I'm not going to unban Shrek. I gave you that option, and then you crapped all over the room, running me down. I'm going to take a break right now. Don't call Robert, okay?
Okay. Welcome. Thank you, David.
Yep.
Have a good break.
My fish are starving. Let's feed them.
Okay. Enjoy the fish. I was going to just look at some news. Here we go. Sorry. Fantastic. You liked hearing what David was saying? Good. He will be back very, very shortly. He's just taking, a 10 to 15 minute break. So that's why I come in the show, to give him a 10 to 15 minute break. It's not that I'm going gray. It's that the green screen is making it look like I'm going gray. No, Molly, it's more likely I'd be in you. I thank you. Thank you for liking me a lot. I think I'm a likable person. Okay, there was a bus crash that killed 4. It's being investigated like a homicide. It killed 4 softball players in Texas, dead. 15 others were injured. Officials are trying to piece together what happened. No, I was not involved in any bus crash. I'm glad that they're doing a thorough investigation of that. Okay. The U.S. is defending Kurds in Syria and it expands airstrikes against Islamic State militants. You think we should worry that they're over here amongst us? And I have heard about the Oklahoma beheading. It is quite scary, and I agree that there are some people who want extremism here in the U.S. And I think that I also feel, as far as the beheading that happened in Oklahoma, is that I think it's great that we have the right to bear arms, because there was one person who was able to shoot the individual that was engaged in the beheading before he could hurt more people. Found something in your garden. I don't know. That Jaharat.com, I don't think that sounds like a good site to go to. Why don't you put it on like TinyPic and maybe I'll look at it. Sure, I don't mind any way that people would like to defend themselves. Well, go ahead and inform me what you know about politics, 3799. What 3 questions have I ignored? Do I think that the Oklahoma bombing was a terrorist act? Yes, I believe that it could be seen as such, but I'm not sure it fits a category of a terrorist act because it was one individual involved. Is that the question? Carl's 3 good questions. I'll have to go and look up Carl while other people are, he'll have to post them again. Do I think that David will be able to get things done in DC once he is elected? I think that David will be able to get many things done once he's elected. I think that it's going to need a change also at the level of the, thank you, okay. I think it's also going to need a change at the level of the Congress in order to affect more change. Terry Nichols also was in Oklahoma. Yeah, sure. Okay. Oh. Chelsea Clinton gave birth to a daughter. Charlotte Clinton Mezvinsky Friday night. Well, you know, it's a totally different ballgame when you're running in a national event versus a local event. I'm not going to answer your question, the minstrel. No comment. So, storms in the southwest have knocked over trees and drenched Phoenix. And there's a big protest happening in Hong Kong. No Green Giants. Of course, I'm involved in America's Third Party. I do the paperwork. I come on the show every single night. I, you know, in a way affiliated, I think it's not necessarily about what teaching. When it comes to teaching, it's not necessarily about different ages. It's about the student's willingness to learn. You're reading a story about the so-called New Work Order. And one of their key things to do is use the economical and terrorists to destroy and take over. It makes me wonder if ISIS is a part of it. It's possible. Well, I can see you as my virtual friends. Okay, so you're reading something about the New World Order. Okay. No, David's not a cannibal. I'll just do this. Have I ever seen AMTV? No, I've never seen their things on YouTube. Maybe I'll have to look into it. What? Wow, Rodney, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. So according to the New York Times, the Pentagon said today that it's conducted its first strikes against the Islamic States in a Kurdish area of Syria along the Turkish border. It's 3 a.m. and you need a friend called Sarah. Okay, I can be your friend, I suppose. I can be your virtual friend. They destroyed 2 armored vehicles. It was near Kobani, where at least 150,000 refugees have crossed into Turkey. Several other air strikes took place in Raqqa and other sites in the eastern part of the country. Sarah is live. I hope it's not something that's going to make me want to ban you, Lolly. pop. If I look at your profile pic. Hi, Hill. The Kurds in that area around Kobani have been falling to Islamic State forces. Kurds have been pleading for air cover. They're so happy that it finally came. This is nice writing by this reporter from New York Times. Very good writing. It's nice to read. How would I suggest improving education in schools? I think education is already being improved in schools, but one thing that I like is, for instance, I do like the idea of increasing technology in schools and increasing students' inquiry methods, having students discover things and have more. It's more about the student solving problems than it should be direct instruction, even though traditional direct instruction will continue to occur. Well, I'm glad I make you laugh, Sniper.
Right. So we could go in there and help every other nation in the world by providing humanitarian assistance, even sending troops in. When Obama sent 3,000 troops into Liberia this past week to help with Ebola patients, Sarah, what did you hear about? You said something startling today about what was happening to those men.
Well, I heard on National Public Radio that there was aid workers going into certain places that were infected with Ebola, and they were trying to take care of the bodies and help clean up a little bit. And they were being attacked by the people that live there. There's rocks being thrown. They slashed the tires in their vehicles. One person, they threw a rock at him, and obviously he became bloody because
blood exchanges the Ebola virus.
And so, he's in a very high risk situation.
We are giving tremendous amounts. And why would Obama send 3,000 people to help the Ebola victims? Why would he do that? Why would he put those men and women at risk? When this is a contagious disease, which if it gets out of control and those people come home, mind you, the incubation rate on Ebola is 21 days. Seriously, 21 days. So they could come home on the boat and they go, "Hi, Mom, Dad, I got a little nosebleed. I'll be right back." Ooh. The whole family becomes infected with Ebola. Yeah. So that's what Obama did. He put our nation at risk when he did that. It's not funny, is it? It's sick.
The
Georgia Guidestones is planning Obama's next move. Okay. Washing is the cure. Tell that to all those people that are washing their hands in the Ebola-ridden hell. Yeah. They've got bleeding orifices. I mean, are you that dense that you think washing your hands is going to be the cure? You're going to need to wear air masks. You're going to need to be walking around in Tyvek suits. Do you guys have a Tyvek suit? We do. Do you have full NBC protection, nuclear, biological, chemical protection? We do. We drive around with it. You should carry a Tyvek suit and duct tape and an air mask wherever you go. We do. Yeah, seriously. Well, thank you. Not everyone gets to be an astronaut when they grow up. That's kind of funny. Well, we have a clip about Ebola. Let's see if I can bring it up. But I don't even know where I put it. God, it's environment, conspiracy. I mean, yeah, I don't have it here. Dang. I'm interrupting our Hangout whenever I do this. That's the only drawback of the system. Yeah, I can't find it right now. Okay, hang on.
I do think
maybe washing your hands in bleach might help. Yeah, I don't think bleach would hurt. I'm a prepper, yeah. Oh, I'm fully prepared for, you're laughing? I'm fully prepared for Armageddon. 100% prepared. I've been prepared for Armageddon for over 15 years, since Y2K. Well, yeah, you're supposed to not keep bleach in your hands, but I mean, the fact is bleach is the only thing that'll really stop Ebola. Soap won't stop Ebola. Check your facts. No, I'm what is called a hybrid capitalist.
Send a voicemail too.
All right, what's your big question, man? Let's keep it simple.
All right, hey, you know you have a board for the national debt.
Yeah. What about it?
You should create one for the amount of resources deadbeats like Carl take.
You know,
actually, I think the amount of welfare is on usdebtclock.org.
go ahead, usdebtclock.org.
You want this?
No, I got it. Yeah, we'll bring it up. Welfare, where is it?
It's one of them. I don't know.
I'm looking. Household assets, corporate assets, prescription drug liability, Medicare, monetary base, personal, student loan debt. Student loan debt is 1.3 trillion now.
Scroll it over.
Okay. Living,
Official unemployed, they have that.
yeah, disability SSI is 10,933,000,000. Okay, no big deal right now. Small amounts, chump change, really. So
Food
far
stamp
this year,
recipients, see?
this is per annum, I believe. Huh?
Food stamp recipients, Medicaid recipients.
Yeah, we'll bring that up, Robbie. Okay.
Medicare enrolled.
Okay, we'll just bring this little chunk up. You can take a look at this. If this is your big complaint, why don't you start thinking about all the money Lockheed Martin is making
I'll post it
on
for
jets? What about all the money that Boeing is making? What colors should this non-interventions be? I think white is nice. El cliente, please do not do this in the room, eh? Gracias. No posting of those weird things in the room. Hey, what are your thoughts about Putin wanting to start World War III? It has been said he's been planning this since 2003. No, Putin's not starting World War III. The Illuminati is starting World War III. They're pushing every single bit they can into Putin's domain. They're triggering, if anybody's triggering World War III, it's not Putin. It is the Illuminati or secret forces behind the World Bank and the IMF. That's really what's powering up this potential World War III. Putin isn't the one who's starting this. You see the stats, you're looking at it right in front of you. Yeah, no big deal, $47 billion. Yeah, drop of the bucket. That's how much money people are living in poverty. 47 million people are living in poverty, Sarah. Look at that. Isn't that unreal? In our nation, 47 million people are living in poverty.
46.
There's 46 million
nearly
food stamp
47
recipients.
million were without insurance.
Right.
Probably
33
the 40
million Medicaid
that
recipients. So these are all people that need money. I don't think they're draining anything out of our society. The big drain is Lockheed Martin and a huge Wall Street executives that continue to make money on their money while the American government turns the other way, doesn't even tax them.
Topper Dan, look at what I just posted. See the word third party in the chat? See that little link next to it? That's where David's getting his stats. That's where this cool thing came from.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you need me to post it again?
I don't think, Mike, we need to worry about ISIS or Islamic jihadists. Remember what FDR said? The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Okay? Think about that a few times, okay? Stop thinking about all this in a fearful way. We shouldn't be afraid of anything, especially fear. What we should be concerned about is a government run awry, not listening to the people of the country, not even asking the American people, hey, do you think we should go ahead and bomb Syrian targets, America? Do you think we should go ahead and launch surgical strikes on Syria? No. Barack Obama didn't even have the common courtesy to give America a reach around. You should be scared. But don't be living in fear of fear. You should be scared because any one of you could potentially be one of those people going over there, and you know the ground troops are going to follow with this ridiculous thing he's doing. You know that. It's coming. And all of it is avoidable. Had you folks voted for a third party in 2012, we probably would be in a different situation right now. But you still have a chance in 2016 to build this third party and to stop these two parties in their tracks. Both these parties want to support war. We don't want war. That's right, a reach around. You got that. Isn't that funny? Yeah, we haven't given America a reach around. It's obvious it's coming, Chameleon. The puppeteers of this nation, the monetary elitists that are controlling our government from outside this nation, want this to happen because they can't hide their Ponzi scheme of printed money. It's getting to be too close to the edge. Well, you should vote, lollipop sucker.
Hey, discount. What do you want, everybody? Yeah, what's on your mind, man? Hey, is this an app we're looking at, or are you on a website? Yeah, we're on a website.
usdettclock.org.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, Sarah, I wanted to ask you a quick question. Is your hair?
You know, this is a personal love affair show with Sarah's hair. Let's just focus on politics, dude. Yeah, I'm going to be cutting anybody off who doesn't talk about politics. We've got a lot of things going on. We can't be wasting our time talking about superficial subjects like hair. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to take a break.
All right, great. Looking forward to it. I'm going to go one-on-one with every questioner in this show. It does look effing awesome because I was the one that worked on her hair today. I gave her a fantastic conditioner, and it was the ultimate massage. You know, you got to infuse it in. Well, Hillary's hair is despicable. Thank you, Hill. I wasn't about to give Sarah another bad night. So these are all the poor people that need help, except for the federal employees. There's 8.242 self-employed people, 8 million, 4.3 federal employees. See, there's double the amount of self-employed people as federal employees. Well, what did you use for conditioner? There's a thing, Palmella, that is sold at, you can thank me, Tom Burnett. There's a thing that is sold at Trader Joe's. It's a bottle of white shampoo, a white conditioner. It looks, you'd see it. It's a white bottle. It's shaped kind of like a triangle. Am I a hairdresser, Dave? No, but I understand what good conditioner is and what it would do for somebody like Sarah. She doesn't need a professional. She's got me. I know. I met Jacqueline Smith. I had the opportunity to look her eye in the eye. She's a beautiful woman, Jacqueline is. Intimidatingly beautiful. David, what do you think about Fox News story about the U.S. government grinding the homeless up into the food supplies? That's really out there, America's Third Party, yeah. There have been discussions of brain material being found in hot dogs in Germany. Sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? Hot dogs in Germany with brain matter. Thanks, Minstrel. We know that you're fixated on facts. David, stats are under the realm of caring. Stats are? Since what stat do you call a caring stat? I care about stats, but I don't, want to turn them into a fixation. I mean, let's talk about the private sector jobs. 115 million. 1.6 million of those are Walmart private sector jobs. There's 20 million people in state and local payrolls. See these people next to my head, right here? Those people are going to really rake in some big bucks. They're going to be the cash hogs in the coming economy because they're the ones that have themselves hooked up to the tit of the government payroll. They're sucking. You hear that sucking sound? Them sucking off. They're sucking off the pension plans. Yeah. Unbelievable state and local pension plans awarded courtesy of your tax dollars, given to these people for what, 20 years of service? In some cases, only one. In the case of a state U.S. House or a U.S. House of Representative, like the guy I'm running against, Rick Larson, I'm a write-in candidate against him, just for the heck of it. That guy makes $170,000 a year approximately, and he will for the rest of his life. If he runs one single term, he'll get $170,000. That's why I thought I'd just run as a write-in candidate until my next election coming up in 2016. Yeah, so let me show you where the cash is. We're going to sector all this off into cash and suffering. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that Rodney called up and did mention that, you know, get the stats out there of all the people that are in need. Not, he meant it in a derogatory way. There was the cash hogs right there. Cash hogs. Sucking. Hear that sucking sound? Yeah. Dale. Okay. It's probably Robert.
Hey, Robert, how you doing?
I got a question for you.
Yeah, what is it, man?
How do you feel about the CDC owning patent on the Ebola virus?
I think it's pretty bizarre and reeks of false flag. What do you think?
Well, false flag mean what?
Well, I mean, they're obviously trying to create a vaccine for Ebola, and and they're going to try to present the vaccine claiming it's going to help us, but it probably will put Ebola in our bodies, like they've done with so many other vaccines they claim help us, which cause us to get the flu. I mean, it's a very old science. Vaccination science is like ancient. Anyway, those are the 25 million people that are on the sucking off the tit right there. That's where the dollar sign is. Go ahead.
Is it proven by the beginning or even the middle of next year that it could be airborne?
I would take it. Bottom line is to say it was going to be airborne is still a question mark. I don't know if anyone can answer that. There's a guy that did a study on pigs and also monkeys, and the pigs and monkeys cross-contaminated, and they don't know if it was the fecal, the guy who was cleaning up the fecal matter that cross-contaminated them. They don't know that. So there was a partial scientific study done in Liberia before this big outbreak. But now that the outbreak is occurring, they don't have time to do any studies. We're looking at possible carpet bombing in the next 6 to 8 months, I think. We're going to have to take out certain areas.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're going to have to take out certain areas of Liberia. Sending 3,000 people into that region is a big mistake. We're going to actually have to carpet bomb the area just to terminate this Ebola spread. Go ahead.
Now, your mobile, when, and I say when, you're elected in 2016.
Yeah.
Your mobile
medical unit, yeah.
Correct. Is there going to be ways to cure? Or are you going to find ways to help Ebola patients that are infected?
Of course, we're going to isolate the disease, but we're not going to be able to get near these people. They're going to be treated as hands off and quarantined. We won't be moving anybody either. There won't be needs for railway systems to transport people like the FEMA plan. That's absurd. Why would we move people who are highly contaminated? The thing is, they'll have to stay right where they are, and that's where we're going to seal that off until we can get in there with hazmat teams. But I mean, this is going to turn into a bloodbath if it gets out of Africa. Now, I understand Barack Obama has already encouraged trade with Liberia. During this entire process, they're talking about increasing trade with Liberia at a time when there is a bioterrorist threat against America. I mean, it's crazy what Obama's doing. He's doing all the wrong things, one after another. I just sit back and watch in amazement at the incompetence of his administration. I have seen it, and you have seen it. We're all watching it. We can see it, but the American people are not getting our voice heard in the mainstream media. We're just sitting around listening to the same pundits go, well, Obama's giving him a chance. You know, he's got another year and a half less. Let's see what he can do. You know, it's like, you're right. He's done. He was done when he started. He was a lame duck president when he started this. He's a sham of a person. He really is.
Now, last question I have for you.
Sure.
Out of the last 10 or 20 years, who was your favorite president?
You know, it's really a tough one to answer. I liked Bill Clinton. I really did. I liked him. I voted for him. And I would have to say of the last 20 years, he was my favorite. But frankly, I am very concerned that we are not looking at the big picture here. The big picture is our country. We have no vested interest in Syria. You know, we don't have any vested interest in these 25 million people that are sucking off the government tit with huge pension plans right here. Okay? Yes, we should protect full-time workers. Yes, we should protect full-time workers. And yes, we should protect the self-employed and the private sector jobs. But these people right here, this is a suck monster right here. We're going to have to deal with this. I actually voted for Bill Clinton. After he did his routine with NAFTA and all that, I lost. When he sold out to the Chinese and opened up the Lincoln bedroom to that Chinaman and basically gave in on trade all over the place, I lost respect for Clinton. And I'm sure Bill Clinton lost respect for Bill Clinton as well. You know, go ahead.
Did you like Reagan?
Well, Reagan was much better than any Republican I'd seen in some time because of his personality. He was engaging. He was willing to talk. You got the impression he was a nice guy. You know, you got that warm, friendly, I just want to do the right thing for America feel, you know? He liked that, and everybody liked that. And I think that really helped unite the country and at a time when we needed a strong leader. Jimmy Carter was not a strong leader. He just came off real weak and tepid. Go ahead.
I forgot what caller it was, either yesterday or the day before. And I know you don't talk religion, but he was talking about how he feels that the reason why that there is war going on right now is because there is no prayer, no religion in this country right now. Do you agree with that?
There's too many other factors involved here. There's video games of violence and sex. There's free porn on the internet. I mean, even pastors from the Trinity Broadcasting Network have been talking about their porn addiction. I mean, you can't just say prayer in the schools or home prayer is going to resolve everything at this point. We need to take a good look at who we are and what our goals are, including our kids. Our kids have to decide in their mind what they want to do and how to carve a life out of this existence we have. We have a modified economy now. Because the government and the two parties didn't do enough to build American jobs and the government didn't take the lead in the past 2 or 3 elections, we are now in a situation where people are languishing for solutions and many of them are sitting around doing nothing. So we have a growing society of moochers. But at the same time, can you blame them really? I mean, there doesn't seem to be a lot of reason to continue on when our country continues to fight wars around the world, pollutes the planet, allows mega industrialists to rule the roost on this great world we live in and turn our water into a toxic waste dump. I mean, we are allowing these industrialists to literally destroy the earth. So when you ask your kid, what do you want to be, Johnny? He wants to be alive and he wants to prosper and he wants money. So if you train your kids to want money, like a lot of people are doing, they're probably going to get a job and work hard and become, monetarily secure. So that's the simple lesson you can teach your kid. It comes down to that now, and I really believe education is just a way of getting money. And I think that's perfectly fine if that's what you're sending your kids out. But if you tell your kids, go and learn something, and you really want to pursue what you're learning, you're catering to a different part of their mind, not the greedy part, but the kind that wants to do service. It's a different part of their brain. And if you're cultivating that in your child, they could be a farmer. I mean, they could become an industrial designer. They could become a code writer, a programmer. They're very lucrative career.
I'm glad you mentioned jobs. Now, if you weren't running,
right,
what kind of job would you see yourself in right now?
Well, my only pursuit in the future, right, I basically decided I was going to pursue renewable energy, and I have been pursuing renewable energy projects for the past few years, and I'm getting some satisfaction out of it. I'm more about satisfaction, not about financial security. My mindset is not about financial security. It's more about what would make me happy the rest of my life and what would fulfill me. And that's a different mindset completely. Both mindsets work and both are probably good for your kids, but to give them nothing but drug addiction, a sense of apathy, that's not something you want to give your kids. And that's, if you have that yourself, you don't want to pass that on to your kids, because If we pursue what we really dream and love, we'll feel good about it. It'll help us, and we will get money eventually. I am a multi-talented son of a gun. It's true. Anyway.
Dave, thanks.
Yeah, cool. Great. Thanks for the call. All right. No, there's no personality disorder here. I really don't believe that anyone above me has greater knowledge or abilities than I do. I basically have a mindset that works for me, and I'm very good at what I do. So Topper Dan, I'm going to ask you to, you work your ass off to the boss. Yeah, exactly. I would agree with that. Yeah. You're willing to suck up to any overseer just to keep your job and to worship money. I get that. Have you analyzed the results of the GOP fiscal policy in Kansas? It seems relevant to the discussion of poverty. I have not. No, Mootley, I haven't. I haven't discussed the GOP's policy toward Kansas. Everything's corny in Kansas. Is it all about corn? No, I know that I'm preaching to the choir of people that actually don't care. It's not egomania, TV. It's just me being who I want to be. I am an American original. You might even call me an American legend in some ways, because I'm actually paving the way, leading the way toward a brand new sustainable future and an economy for all of us, where we can live totally in peace with our environment and be happy and content and not be greedy. I'm actually a protagonist of balanced resources and balanced utilization of our resources, not giving it to special interests, not giving it to one particular group over another, but rather spreading it out. Yeah, so I'm basically the guy who's going to create government jobs. That's my answer to you. Now, if you think that that's something I shouldn't do, or that maybe it's a big waste to offer people opportunity, I tell you, you're an absolute idiot, or a capitalist pig who basically sucked up to capitalism and thinks that that's a wonderful thing, Topper Dan. Yeah, you can do that all you want. Well, the Cox have implemented their plan and it's a failure. Okay, Mootley, I'll look into it. You know, I don't see any growth for our country except in marijuana production at this point. I can see green, clean technologies being born out of this seriously dire situation. But honestly, if we don't have a lead from the government, and the government doesn't mass produce solar panels and renewable energy systems in the next 10 years, this country is going to turn into a third world nation. It already has become a third world nation. So standing around and talking about it and going golfing and drinking light beer and dark beer isn't going to cut it. The next president has to be a dynamo, a person willing to give his entire being to the goal of building this nation up. So a lot of you are wondering what the hell is going on with Barack Obama. Not a lot. He reads off a teleprompter. Under Obama's administration, there have been 2 bioterrorism diseases created, H1N1 and Ebola. Population control, Dave, Agenda 21. Good point, Lone Wolf. Thank you. And yeah, no, it is a good answer. Marijuana legalization will open up avenues of profit for all kinds of people in America. We could even make it as a government commodity, and we could turn it into an oil in the form of hempoline. We need something really, really good for our economy, and I can't think of the best solution right now, and that's legalization of marijuana. Now, that's a quick fix. Long term, you cannot expect a person to come up with answers greater than solar panels that you could roll out on a rooftop, that people in your area could install and have their own private company installing and make a couple $1,000s each time they do it. Solar panels that actually will pay for themselves over time. And solutions that will generate electricity. That gets a return on investment instantaneously for our country. These are the kind of things that economies are built on. I don't want everyone stoned, Amy. I want everyone to have the option of smoking marijuana and not be sent to jail. How much are our jails are occupied by people spending 10 years in Mississippi for possession of marijuana? 10 years. Well, you know, I'd rather take stoned over fluoridated and lithiumized. Thank you. You know, people who are stoned at least are aware of what's going on. People that are fluoridated are not. Amy, you know, men and women often, I dated a woman who was 47 years old when I was 18. I actually went on a date with an 87-year-old, a group date. when I was 19 years old. Yeah, men and women can date at various ages. Yeah, oh yeah, I was with a friend of mine in Westwood. We're both like 19, I think, 18 or 19. And we met this 87-year-old woman that was a knockout. I mean, she was absolutely amazing. And we actually took her on a little date. It was just kind of a joke. But yeah, we didn't go out or do anything weird. The first woman I kissed, believe it or not, was 47 years old and I was 17. Isn't that weird? And it was a stage act I had to do called A Streetcar Named Desire in a play called by Tennessee Williams. It's the only play I've ever been in, and I was the delivery boy. I was also the stage manager for the production. And it was a weird moment because I was like, this is the first woman. She actually slipped me the tongue, if you can believe that. It's like, whoa, this is really bizarre. Yeah, anyway. So men and women can get along at various ages. We shouldn't have these gender fixations that we have in America. You know, our population is getting older. Okay, Mississippi changed their law. Thank you, Minstrel. Well, back about 20 years ago, it was a 10-year sentence in Mississippi. I'm glad to know that they made it a 60-day in jail, 5 and 6. Thank you. All right, thanks for checking. Well, thanks for clarifying. Back in the old days, Mississippi would have a 10-year sentence for possession. So yeah, I mean, I don't think you should make a big deal about age between men and women. Sarah is 18 younger than me. Okay, what happened to talking about government, Dave? Because you just told everyone to stop talking about Sarah and you talk about your cougar experience. I know. You know, I didn't want to digress and talk about my personal life, but it is kind of a sore subject for me to hear people make a big deal of the age difference between Sarah and I. No, she doesn't call me daddy. I know it's going to come up, but Grover Cleveland was, what, in his 60s, and he married an 18-year-old in the White House? Yeah, so I mean, it's not that big of a deal. All right. So how are you going to get the money? Yeah, that's the question. We might as well park money in the door here, because that's basically what's controlling the White House. All right, great. Yeah, I'm not interested in a cougar experience either. You know, I felt shocked and actually I felt offended. I would probably call it a sexual molestation of a minor. A woman French kissing a guy on stage. Yeah, I mean, I felt totally, I was caught off guard, frankly. There's nothing cool about it. Okay, did somebody ask for Carl's little singing routine?
Note that this is my first video singing. So I usually sing in the choir, so
here we go.
You know, hopefully this is not different. It's coming up on YouTube, and enjoy the song.
Okay,
this
here we go.
It's called Never Gonna Give You Up.
Never live. Yeah, this is ridiculous. And I really believe that it's wrong for me to turn the show into something ridiculous. But it's also ridiculous for money to dominate the White House, don't you think? And don't you think money is becoming a big, significant part of political policy today in America? I mean, seriously. Don't you think there's something wrong here? Are we talking about Rick Astley? Okay. I would like to play a really cool song, 25 seconds of a song by the name of a group called Enigma, The Cross of Changes. Okay, that was a test. That was a test to see if the Google Hangout will actually make my entire video unavailable to the world audience. They did that to me 5 or 6 times already on our website. Whenever we play 24 seconds of a song, they claim that I'm infringing on copyright, which I'm not. And then they pull it up. They actually mark it. And you know, a computer does this. It's not even a person. turn it off. That was Enigma, man. All right. All right. Is that enough? Good night, Sniper. Thanks for coming in, and try not to hurt yourself. Be well. Have a blessed night. Of course, the Illuminati's running Google. They run everything. They're running DARPA. What do you worry about that for? Yeah. So you like Bill Clinton, Akumi? Okay. Good for you. You know, Amy, I don't want to cater to the private sector. I really don't want to get you. You're a doctor. You want to make $450,000 a year. I've told you that. I support actually limits on salaries for public doctors at public hospitals. I told you that I support limits on the cost of an X-ray at a public hospital so that people don't get ripped off. So what about that do you not understand? Well, the fact is, all songs can be played 24 seconds long. It was a landmark Supreme Court decision involving Yoko Ono. He was good. Yeah, we could have more calls, but as you know, I've had the system off for a while. I'm not a communist. I don't want in any way to impinge on the private sector. I just want people to get a fair price for an X-ray at a public hospital. I'm not asking a lot, Amy. Yeah. You know, I don't think of anything about the Twitch platform. We broadcast on it every night in our gaming show, Green Giant. We've got a gaming show. If you want to follow us at Twitter, follow us at Third Party, and you'll get a link to the gaming show. But we have not benefited from the Twitch platform at all yet. It seems to have a chat glitch in it where it drops off if chat isn't going constantly. It's very weird. I'm trying to be nice to Amy Pie, but she has to understand that I'm not a corrupt capitalist who all I care about is helping the rich get richer. I'm different than that. In fact, I'm more along the lines of the mandate was put out by Barack Obama than anybody in the Republican Party or even the Democratic Party at this point. I want more accountability from big, large corporations, monopolies that are forming, like Google. I would like to see the Justice Department investigate Google on an anti-monopoly charge. So there's a lot of things that make me different than your random extreme right-winger. Gaming was great, Hill. I got Xbox 360 for Christmas, and I've been spending about an hour a day gaming. It's quite a sight, isn't it, Rodney? Yeah, and I've enjoyed it, and it's giving me a chance to share my my weird side, if you will, as if there was a weird side to me. Yeah, gaming and getting high on Washington weed. Yeah, that's exactly what a lot of people are going to be doing in the future. What do you mean that you can't even get your statements about marijuana correct? Why should we trust your other statements regarding your character? I've never lied to you. I didn't realize that Nixon didn't pass an executive order until you clarified that. Thank you. Appreciate it. I know that Nixon had his fingers in the legislation, and he was the one that suggested putting marijuana on a list of controlled substances. And that entire act was signed by him, which could be an executive order, deemed an executive order. But it's not really a question of getting it right. I will have to pass an executive order legalizing marijuana, and that will set the ball rolling. Please don't talk to Amy about sex. That's very inappropriate. Yeah, Drag King. Amy's a wonderful person who deserves a little respect, you know? You're leaving Carla, what? Molly, you're not even, you're welcome, Amy. Molly, you're not even a real person. You came in and said that Carl was dead. That's the worst thing you could say, Molly. Yeah. Amy's not female? Really? Jelly roll. Amy, I was the impression you were a woman. This is getting more and more like the toilet zone. Yeah, really. I mean, could we elevate our conversation a little bit? This is ridiculous. Texas college grieves after 4 killed in a bus crash today, folks. Rodney, that's the crying game was about a guy, a lesbian woman who's pretending to be a guy. So you're saying I'm a lesbian pretending to be a guy? Is that what you're saying? A North Texas community college brought in counselors to comfort grieving students Saturday and canceled athletic competitions after 4 women softball players were killed when an 18-wheel trucker veered into oncoming traffic. You got to wonder if he was on meth. That's seriously messed up. Green Giant, I'm moving on to the 2020 election. I'll be taking over for, I believe, Barbara Walters. She's leaving the 2020 show, and I'm going to start the 2020 election. So I'll interview myself. I'll say, hello, David. Welcome to the 2020 election. Well, hi, Barbara. What is your plans, David, for running for president of the United States? Well, Barbara, I don't know. I'm thinking being every other president's failed, I'm the only guy that really has the answers, and I kept going forward, Barbara. I kept persevering. Well, thank you, David. Thank you so much. And welcome to 2020 Revisited. There may be a 3-dimensional Barbara Walters someday. You never know. David, you find her attractive? We all find all ladies attractive. Is that who you are? Is that who America's third party is? That's a pretty interesting way of approaching a guy. A lot of African American women find me very attractive. As you all know, I dated a Jamaican American woman prior to meeting Sarah, and I don't know why. I think that some black women have a thing for white guys. It's safe to say that. I believe that someday little white boys will someday play with little black girls. Yeah. No, she almost ruined my credit. Do you know the story about this, Doomzilla? She asked me for a $500 loan. Yeah, I don't want to get into that. Dave, is Hughes down with a vagina? You think I have a vagina? You're saying that, that is absolutely disgusting. I am really serious about my presidential campaign. Why do you think I'm talking about war tonight? And we talk about issues related to the government every single day. You're 100% right, yet it will not get done. That's me. Yeah, I'm the only guy with the answers. And I'm the only guy who feels that I can save the world. I guess so. Yeah. Look, if you were born with an intelligence level like I've got, you would be burdened with the same thing. You'd want to get the word out every day to try to solve America's problems. Well, let's be clear. I'd even read off a teleprompter. I'll do whatever it takes to help the American people. I'll even introduce you to my lovely wife, Michael. Where is Michael when I need him most? Yeah, I just like getting closer to Michael. There she is. There he is. There he is. Our first lady. Yeah, isn't that cool? How do you feel about having a transgender for a first lady? Is everybody okay with that? Are you Republicans okay with that? Kind of like Dick Cheney and his relationship with his daughter and sister. That's, being incorrect is not a big deal, Minstrel. Well, trust me, it doesn't matter. I don't listen to all the details. My genius is not in the minutia of trivia. It's actually in the evolved, elevated spatial reasoning and ability to analyze error and correct it. I have the ability to look at a large object and say, this is incorrect. There's something wrong here. I can look at, that's where I excel. It's really finding error in systems. I can spot waste, government waste, better than most. Right now, reviewing the comprehensive annual financial review for Washington State. Imagine this. 6 years ago, Washington State was $16 billion in debt. Now they're $90 billion in debt. That's pretty messed up. So I'm looking at the details, and I think there's a tremendous amount of ripoff going on, and I'm beginning to think that I can find it. There's money in the Whistleblower Act. It might be a good revenue. It could possibly make some money doing this. Go ahead. Hey, bye. All right, we got a quick question from yeah. Quick question, man. What's it? I like your low key move. What's your question? Okay, no answer. David, she looks like any other black woman. So your opinion of black women is they look like men. May cost you the black vote for being a. Oh, so every other black woman in America has an Adam's apple? You're not seeing the picture? Is there something wrong with you? You don't see the picture I see. Do you see what I see? Our first lady has an Adam's apple bigger than mine. Da, 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 da. What are you, you're out of your mind? I mean, look at mine. Seriously. I was just accused of being a male lesbian. My God, what are you, blind? Oh, no, you're not. You're an Obama-tard. You're not blind. You can't see anything. You can't even question Barack Obama's bad leadership. You can't even question the fact that he's starting wars all around the world. You're a typical Obama-tard. I know. And whenever I show you a picture of Michelle or Michael Obama's penis, oh, you're all over that. You're like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah. Well, that was a Photoshop copy. Oh, blah, 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 blah. There's no Photoshopping in this. I have spent hours looking at this picture with a microscope. Actually, not hours, just a few minutes. And I could not see any Photoshopping around that large protuberance. Well, I just thought I'd bring it up. All right. Okay, let's talk about all the money that the government is wasting right now and how war is going to cost us even more. You know, when Barack Obama decided to start a war without congressional approval recently and asked Congress for $500 million to send rebels so he can strategically strike them with surgical attacks. So we're paying these rebels $500 million, and then we're going to strategically, surgically strike them. It's great. All I'm saying, Minstrel, is, hey, you know, I don't spend my time with the details and minutia that trivia contests are made of. I work on a larger macroeconomic approach to our country's economic survival. I look at things in what is called an inductive reasoning way, as opposed to a deductive reasoning way. You're more of like a nitpicker there, Minstrel. You're like a bean counter. You're like an ant. You're crawling around the floor. You could write code with that kind of OCD. I look at a big picture and I say, wow, there's something wrong here. Like the Pacific Ocean. I take a look at the Pacific Ocean. Let's take this is a very good example. Now you can see that the Pacific Ocean is a mire of radiation. I don't have to count every water particle in the ocean to know that it's radiated. I merely have to test certain areas. And I look at the big picture and I see along the Pacific coastline, right here, the tide pools are dying. Yeah, I'm scared too. I'm very scared because I'm seeing our coastline die right now. And that's the big picture. That's looking at the forest from the trees, away from the trees. Details are important, but they get lost in the minutia. When you look at the big picture, it's not just one little dolphin dying over here and one little turtle dying over here. It's the entire coastline covered with dead organisms. It's the entire Pacific Ocean dying. And you can't comprehend that. That's why you don't give a crap about Fukushima. And that's why Obama hasn't mentioned one thing about it. It's better to start wars in Syria than to deal with the problem of leaking radiation from Fukushima. Seriously, he has no idea how bad off this is. So I have a greater, more macro view of the entire problem. And I would send a specific support crew into Fukushima, not directly, mind you, but with robotics. And we would work with the Japanese government to create a solution. Right now, there really is no solution to the endless supply of of radiation, 52,000 gallons of radiated material coming out of the reactor vessel itself. This is the Fukushima Bay area. What I want to do is build a mound using robotic tractors over each reactor. Now, this is included with the existing trench system that they've created, a refrigeration unit that freezes the ground. This is in tandem and in combination with their idea. And I want to cap the edge of the Fukushima Bay area with a retired U.S. aircraft carrier, unmanned, no person will be on it, and it'll block that area and provide a way to send radiated water back to a burner reactor and deal with this crisis. Now, this is a problem that can be rectified. We can fix this problem. That's just not true, Topper Dan. No, you're absolutely wrong. Your coastline is infected with a massive amount of radiation. Let me give you a reading that was taken off the coast of California just about 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. This is the California coastline.
Path heading towards Surfers Beach. We're up on a bluff area, parkland. You can see what it's reading. The last 3 days I've been down here. When I hit the beach, my detector goes into alarm, which is set at 3 times about this, 99.
Okay, watch what happens when he goes on the beach.
Right. The readings are solid.
Nice, huh? Good on the ears. Wow. I just blast my ears. He's getting hit. He's getting slammed on that coastline, folks. The numbers are speaking for themselves. I rest my case. No, there's been a massive amount of death along the ocean. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give you some links. I'll give you guys some links to look up right now. You could also go to our link library at all times, but I'll give you something to look at. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Okay, I approved you, but it didn't work out. Nuclear Emergency Tracking Center. This is an interesting site. Let me go to another one. Okay, Fukushima disaster. Oh, that's down. That's weird. There's FukushimaFacts.com. I was looking for the one about the dead whale and the ocean side that's just dying. Here's an interesting article about using fungi to remediate radiation at Fukushima. This is an interesting article. Here, for those of you who want to remain positive, let me show you this. This is from a permaculture.co.uk site. They believe that they can grow fungi over the radiation that will lower the radiation levels. It's interesting. Many people have written to me and asked more or less the same question: what would you do to help heal the Japanese landscape around the failing nuclear reactors? Yeah. Evacuate the region, grow fungi, chip wood debris to minimum depth of 12 to 24 inches, and mushrooms form and then harvest them under radioactive hazmat protocols. Continuously remove the mushrooms, which have now concentrated radioactivity, cesium-137, to an incinerator. The ash can then be burned. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. So growing mushrooms there and then incinerating the mushrooms and then taking the ash and disposing of it is one way to do it. You want to bomb the entire continent? That's not a good solution. Okay, there's a lot of things out there. E-News is your best site for information on Fukushima. Please don't live in the falsely deluded world that Topper Dan lives in, folks. Try to get more information about this terrible threat to our safety. You know, anyone can live with their head in the sand and have a sophomoric mentality about everything that he got in high school. But seriously, university researchers assess impact of Fukushima plume on the U.S. Some models show near straight line to West Coast. Radionuclides didn't dilute offshore as officials had claimed, cause for serious alarm. I mean, these are all in the record. Seriously. Incinerate the mushrooms. Well, the OSU organization, Oregon State University, has been bought off for so many years. They actually do reports favoring the use of pesticides. You go to Oregon State University for any resolve whatsoever, you're going to get bad science, junk science. The only thing I know that Oregon State University is doing a good job on are point absorbers out in the ocean. They've got a good testing program going. But honestly, you're going to the wrong people for answers. They're the ones that are expert advisors to the pesticide industry, providing most of the data, the chemical data that pesticides are safe. Chameleon hates the Rothschilds, the richest family in the world. You want to talk about who's behind the incredible takedown of our nation? Yeah. Go to our linked library and search Rothschild. Our linked library is on our main site. So there's 8 families that referred to in this Global Research article. Federal Reserve Cartel, the 8 families. That's one discussion we have there. On the same page, we have the list of banks owned by the Rothschild family. This is the devil is in the details. These are the details revealing the devil that we know to be the Rothschild family, this entire group of people that want to control the world. Let me show you the list of banks, and the Federal Reserve is high on the list. Check this out. This is their seal. Okay, I'm just going to scroll down the list here. I mean, these are over 160 banks worldwide are owned by the Rothschild family. Good night, Drag King. Are you leaving, Hooker? Okay. They were telling me to get more information about something when you spotted falsehoods regarding marijuana. God, you are like so OCD, it's unreal, man. Yeah, this is owned by the Rothschild family. Yeah, so you want to know who's making the wars. Wow. Okay, that pretty much sums it up. I'm not sure what your question is, Sarah 6. I'm not contradicting myself at all. And I think Mootley and Minstrel have some sort of a circle jerk going on here. Thanks, Buck. I know that you're a pretty religious guy for sharing that. But you know, many Christians, especially here in the United States, strongly believe in the Jewish faith having some legitimacy in terms of historic terms. Yeah. Christians and Jews actually, it's called Judeo-Christian belief. You got to look back into the source of what that comes from. Yeah, hey, let's not go there. That lone wolf, that is actually that's not only a bannable offense, but that's something that'll get you arrested. Do you know that the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, runs a fusion project with Homeland Security? And you thought you were free. Okay. Somebody has a question. Go ahead. What's your question?
So on the beheading that happened in Oklahoma on Thursday, do you believe that was just a mainstream media publicity to scare us into the new boogeyman that is ISIS?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Coming over into the United States.
Yeah, in fact,
Do you think well, hold on. Well,
Sure.
do you think it was a government hoax? Let me
yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, I'll be blunt. I really believe that the whole thing. I'm sorry the woman lost her head. I really am. It's a horrifying event. I believe that the guy looks like a victim of MK Ultra. I believe he fits all the earmarks of a person who's been controlled and turned into an assassin, and possibly even they've used experimental drugs, viruses on him. They've got a rabies virus now that bioengineers have developed that will turn anybody into a rabid cannibal. So I'm not surprised he did that. And and also his connection to Islam, strangely enough, recent contacts to Islam shows that this is some sort of a made up situation. It looks, has all the earmarks of a false flag attempt by the government.
This is what I think is funny, David, is, I mean, personally, if I was in a workplace and I saw someone, that just, brutally beheaded someone and is attempting to do the same to another woman, I wouldn't just wound him. I wouldn't pull out my handgun and just wound him. I mean, I would have probably shot to kill, and for this,
Mark Vaughn,
what was it?
Mark Vaughn.
This officer that was off duty just shot him in the arm or whatever. I personally want to see what it's going to be like when we have him in court. If he's going to be subdued like that one nutcase that did the Aurora shooting. I want to see if he's going to have anything to say or what his reaction is going to be in court.
His reaction, the Aurora, Colorado shooting guy, his reaction has been consistently psychotic. Well, I don't even believe it's the same
Correct.
guy. I mean, when you look at the entire pictures of the various versions of the Aurora, Colorado shooter, you see different faces. The James Holmes that I'm going to show you is. Sorry, there should be a login. People doing a really bad job of audio cuts when they do compilations. But James Holmes, he had a lot of different faces. But sorry about the noise. Yeah, that was a little bit weird. Yeah, my ears were like blown away. I couldn't believe that. But the faces of James Holmes they vary, and I don't know if it's the same guy. I'll show you pictures that are obviously contradictory.
Looks like that picture right there.
Yeah.
Not that one, but the one.
Well, you can see different. Now, what I think was done here, this was a video that was released. This was a video that was released. I don't believe it is a legitimate family video. I believe what this is a video of both of these guys brought together. I think that this is one of the type of things that appear on the internet with no trace whatsoever to their source, which show pictures of both people, making it seem like this is the same guy. And I saw this. Candy Rain actually sent me this video. I saw it in the background, and I don't know. They don't look alike to me. I mean, that's like saying that I'm James Holmes. I look about as much like James Holmes as James Holmes, I think.
Well, I just saw someone in chat that said it's called aging, but there's a whole lot of differences, when aging processes happen. I mean, eyes, your skull doesn't change, your eyes don't get lower. Yeah. So I agree. It looks like two completely different people, but
I'm James. I'm looking like him.
Talking to Nolan's, families or close friends or anything like that.
Yeah. I can't. That's the thing. He's still being held under charges, federal charges. They haven't even gotten to him. Everything about this case, Aurora, Colorado, changed. Candy Rain sent me the pictures. I can't legitimize whether this is a legitimate set of pictures of the same guy. He looks like Mark Zuckerberg. Wow, interesting. Plunger lips on the right, chicken lips on the left. That sounds like a song. Chicken lips on the left, plunger lips on the right. Yeah. Mind control. What happened to the phone? Say something. Where are you? Hello? Caller? Yeah. Yeah, I think the phone fell. The fake teeth are in the other room waiting to be sent out to the manufacturer. I'm not talking about Candy Rain being insightful, Sarah 62. I am talking about just receiving the link from her. Yeah, so the fake teeth are going back to the manufacturer to get adjusted. I'll be doing Halloween with the fake teeth, yeah. But I tend to believe that they were going to get better. And I still have hope that they'll fit right, that I will be able to wear them full time on the show. Because I kind of like the idea of having nice teeth. No, Minstrel, I'm not cognitively dissonant. I have clear and concise answers to questions. I don't suffer from a conflict of opinion in my mind. I'm a very settled and solid person. I have no idea where you're coming from. I get it. You are somebody who's suffering from a severe obsessive compulsive disorder. I take it that's a serious problem. He's clearly doped up like Adam Lanza, yeah. I'm not really sure. Sarah 62 IQ, I think that you're a little bit IQ centric. And I'm going to purge everything you said and give you one last chance to stay in the room. I supported intervention in Iraq because we already had an infrastructure of $1.5 trillion there. I think I explained that to you. You guys have a hard time with cognitive thinking, let alone dissonance. Wow. Okay, what's on your mind, buddy boy? Obviously, we haven't really talked a lot about anything of substantive purpose.
Hey, got a couple things to discuss with you, Dave. Okay, but what is it?
Yeah. Oh, I guess I lost you. Ring, ring. What's your question?
Yeah, you brought up Candy Rain as the Spawnheim girl. I just want to say, she's a perfect mouthpiece for the party. She's so brilliant and thought-provoking, and
she's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Railroad scholar. Anyways,
yeah. Good time. Thanks for being nice and generous with your comments. Because positive will. Did you ever learn that being nice to people will help you make friends as opposed to making enemies?
Hey, would you really want to be friends with anybody on this fucking website?
Yeah, frankly, I like a lot of people in here. Yeah.
You do, buddy. All right. Listen, so they're talking about Janet Napolitano she's being floated as the possible successor to Eric Holder's position. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree with me that it would be a fucking disaster?
Yeah, it would be a totally disaster. Janet Napolitano doesn't have the mental acumen to engage in a conversation unless it's discussing her lesbian girlfriend. We really need somebody with a really good legal mind. And I don't even consider Chief Justice Roberts a legal genius, a guy who flubs the inaugural address. I mean, seriously. I don't rely on a FICO score, Hammer. I'm not a part of the FICO world. I don't plan on taking any loans out. Yeah.
He's taking off the bench. I think he's mentally incapacitated, personally.
Well, taking into consideration, there are a lot of people who are mentally unstable, Hillary Clinton notwithstanding. I think we have to ask ourselves, when has a mentally unstable person affected our future as a country? Look at Obama. No, it isn't, Topper. Stop repeating yourself. Thank you.
People, before they can take office, they should be analyzed psychologically or tested in some way.
I don't think we need to test people who are running for office, no. It's up to us to decide whether they're good or bad people.
I mean, we clearly have a lot of compromised individuals for one reason or another serving in the quote-unquote democracy at this time. People who are clearly insane. You mentioned Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden.
A lot of them have lost it. Yeah, we've got insanity and leaders that have become insane. We have a situation on our hands, even in the Army. The CDC plans the Army Operation Devolution. All of these are insane plans to deal with an upcoming pandemic. Somebody out there has got some sick thoughts for the future of this country.
Mac Attack guy keeps using the N-word in the chat, please.
Okay, Mac Attack, please don't use the N-word. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, please ban him. The guy's a menace. He's a big racist.
Okay, Minstrel, one who suffers from cognitive dissonance is cognitively dissonant, but you continue to fail understanding such a simple concept. I'm not cognitively dissonant. I don't have any dissonance in my mind. In fact, I work on a metacognitive level. I'm talking to you as if you are truly what you are, bi-curious, transgender in the making, who obviously wants to self-mutilate and is suffering from OCD. And I'm not even a psychologist. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that you're bulimic and weigh about 120 pounds, but that's what I would profile you as, Minstrel. Thank you. Hey, I'm not a professional profiler either, but I can pretty much peg exactly, like Rodney, I got you down as 6'4", 6'5", 240, got a little weight problem, brown hair, and I would say mostly physically well built, you know? Thank you. What's your next question? This is Guest Chat Saturday. Yeah, did I get Guest Chat off? I'm sorry, Guest on. Go ahead.
You mentioned earlier that you were throwing around the term carpet bombing again. Phrase, should I say?
Yeah. Is in Liberia? Yeah, it's definitely should be considered.
So that's how you feel. I mean, that's going to be the ultimate. That's going to be a necessity to eradicate this Ebola virus.
Yeah, the only way we're going to be able to deal with it is actually carpet bombing. Sorry to say, it's a sad truth, but you know, it's not about a collateral damage anymore. It's about surviving. It's about the human race surviving. If we sit back and let 3,000 men and women go in there, have rocks thrown at their cars, breaking open their tissue, and they're trying to help these people. Obama sent 3,000 men, women into this area.
I say let them burn, Dave. Fuck them. You know how
Exactly, man. I believe that carpet bombing Liberia is the only answer to the problem if it gets out of control. I hate to be this way, but hey,
you know,
I don't see any other way of doing it.
I'm all about thinning the herd, man. Those people are fucking bottom feeders and a real problem for the for the globe as a whole. Man.
I got to tell you, you know, they chose to have 10 kids, not wear condoms. I mean, this is the problem. Yeah, Rodney, how many votes did you get in the last election? That's a good question.
Most likely, I probably got more right than you did, Dave. I mean,
Kingpin, I agree.
To prove that, but I don't think it'd be far off to think so.
We need to uproot the power of these huge monetarists like the Rothschilds, Rodney. And what better way than to grow the most natural thing on earth, marijuana, and replace the Federal Reserve with the marijuana reserve? How about that? That's a great idea. Yeah. And we'll create a marijuana reserve and have plenty of really good bud, and we'll have these massive stockpiles, and everyone around the world will look for American bud. And we'll have hempoline in storage vats, so we'll be able to travel around the country. Our truckers will be paying like we'll be paying $1 a gallon for diesel eventually. Hemp rules, yeah. No, I'm not a pothead whining on the internet. I've been a candidate for 6 years, you imbecile. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what do you guys got planned for the rest of the weekend there, Dave? Why don't you bring us into your world a little bit?
I'd love to. I want to actually watch more in the series of Survivor. We're watching Survivor 21 Nicaragua right now, and we're watching this thing called Amazon Prime. You're laughing? This is our life. We're enjoying this.
You know, it's interesting you bring that up, because I was going to ask you earlier not to interrupt. I'll let you get back to it.
No, go ahead and interrupt, yeah.
You know, you're a big, strategist, and, you seem to feel like you're smarter than just about anybody else, and I got to agree with you. I mean, you're a fucking dynamo when it comes to brain power. You ever thought about going on a reality show to help push the agenda of the party as well as your own egomaniacal self?
Well, for one, I don't have an egomaniacal problem. I am smarter than most people. That doesn't really matter. What matters is I need to actually get out there in the mainstream media, and I would like to pitch myself as a potential reality show. And I've been trying to package this past couple of years.
Way for you to plug the party, man.
Well, we call it America's Third Party, and we do a show 3 hours a night, and maybe you might want to tune in on our reality show. Thanks. Carpet bombing Liberia, that's correct. But I don't want to be an interventionist. You know, interventionism involves sending troops in and listen to those jarhead military guys say, we need to win the war on the ground. You know, we don't need to win the war in Ebola on the ground. We need to carpet bomb the entire nation if necessary. We need to stop this thing from spreading. I don't know if you realize, but the death rate from Ebola is 65%. You know, I wouldn't have sent 3,000 troops in there. I would have had I said this to you last couple months ago, actually, Rodney, when we first heard about Ebola. I said, we need to stop all flights from Africa into the United States. They have to be sent back and they have to land offshore. Yeah. I can't believe the lack of concern Obama's had here. Thank you.
My thought from the beginning is we need to send Hot Carl over there in a suicide vest.
Yeah. Whatever, we'll send a hot bed of flowers. You know, I will send a wreath after we carpet bomb them. You know, but the bottom line is, I'm not going to sit back and watch our nation become vulnerable to the most deadly pandemic the world has ever seen, and I won't be pitching a vaccine for everybody. You won't be coming out of my mouth about some BS vaccine that they're coming up with. I don't buy into the vaccine thing. I don't believe they have the answers. The technology has not been developed. It's pretty sad. We need to solve the problems, of course, but you know, I cannot solve their problem, period. All I can do is send some food. What we can do, seriously, we can target the problem. We have biodiversity sketches that we've looked at that show the blooming of the Ebola virus and the spread. And I can tell you that the best thing we can do is send in food and water via plane. Now, this is a plan that I think could very well solve the problem. Simple. Airdrop food supplies. This doesn't cost us anything. It doesn't endanger the men flying overhead, dropping the supplies. We can do that for a while until we identify the areas that are most stricken, and we can tell these people emphatically, you've got about, I'd say, 6 to 7 hours to evacuate. And those that do get out will be infected. But the ones that are lame and can't get out will be burned to a crispy critter. I'm sorry, but it would do them a favor to execute them right now and put them out of their misery. I don't know. Have you looked at the etiology of this disease, Rodney? Have you actually seen what it does to people?
Oh, absolutely. It's nothing to be trifled with, Dave.
It's sick, man. It's really sick, and it could very well take down the human race. So we need strong leadership now, not some pussy standing there going, well, we'll make no mistake about it. We'll do surgical strikes in a place that doesn't even have a problem like Syria. But we won't. We'll send 3,000 people into Liberia and sacrifice their life. I mean, the guy's an idiot.
Barry's been looking like shit lately. What do you suppose is up with him? You think he's ill or just too strung out, or what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I am a little concerned about our president's health. I am.
Well, last time when he, what was it, a week and a half ago, when he had his little speech on that Monday evening, he looked like he went to the same mortician to have his makeup done as Cookie Lip Shits.
Exactly. Somebody's saying I said Ebola's entomology. No, it's etiology. Thank you. I think that he has a very big weight problem. I wouldn't doubt he's jumped up on heavy-duty tranquilizers just to deal with his emotional problems, break up from Michael. You know, when Michael and he didn't get along, and they've been using the F word back and forth throughout the past 6 years at the White House. Everybody knows that. I do. I don't have any ill will toward any human being.
From what I've been told, they use the N-word in the White House.
I understand they do. And I'm not here to talk about racial slurs because I'm not a racist. But I can tell you that Barack Obama clearly is flinging the F word daily. And I've heard this from numerous sources. He and Michael are both flinging the F word at each other. When a gay couple like Barack and Michael are expressing anger, you got to get away. You know, you got to step out. Have you ever seen two gay guys fight? Well, you wouldn't. You're not gay. You know, I haven't seen two gay guys fight, except one time I was dating a fag hag, and she was actually forcing me to be around two gay guys. And I saw these two people fight. It wasn't pretty. Yeah, so, I mean, I got to tell you.
Story, Dave.
Yeah, it's a great story. Yeah, quote me on that. Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, I was dating a fag hag for about 6 months. It was really weird. Oh yeah, she just loved gay guys, and she thought I was eye candy for these guys. Yeah, the word is a word. It's the word. They use that all the time. Yeah, a woman who likes gay men.
Somebody who's just like over the top, denies that they have anything, fruity about them.
Exactly.
You seem to find yourself in a lot of fucking gay situations.
Not really. No, I'll tell you. I was around gay guys. It's politically relevant because I'm talking about your personal life, minstrel. Yeah, I'm not digressing. I'm talking about your personal life. You're a guy who tucks. You obviously are transgender. I don't need to go into detail. But the bottom line is, if you date a woman who wants to use you as eye candy, and she basically saw me as eye candy, it was a real weird experience. Well, Buck, are you telling me that the Westboro Baptist Church is engaged in hate speech when they say that God hates fags? And you're a God-fearing Christian, Buck. How dare you? No, I was dating a fag hag for 6 months who liked to hang around gay guys in Hollywood. Hey, I was in the area. I happened to work in the area. I met these people. All right, bottom line is she thought I was eye candy, and I don't have any of the gay tendencies that all her boyfriends had. So it was weird, man. Yeah, so that's why I take offense to you saying that I sound gay or that I'm weird. I really find it very disturbing. Like yesterday, you said I sounded or looked gay when turning off the picture. And I'm like,
When you mute the show,
yeah,
when you had those very deep in, the show was muted.
Yeah.
You were talking with your hands a lot. You kind of like had a Richard Simmons thing going on.
Kind of like that?
Hello?
Yeah, like that? All right.
I don't know. I'm out on the porch having a cigarette.
Oh, thank God.
I can't see you right now.
All right. Well, bottom line is I don't like sexual harassment, Rodney. So if you could just drop out of the sexual harassment thing and turn fear of ISIS into your biggest problem, I think we should all just fear ISIS. That would be much better for our country. Just live in constant fear.
Yeah, I don't believe in fear, Dave.
Fear of
I
ISIS.
have a message to them. They come on over, bring the noise already, so we can shut them up.
Yeah, you'd exterminate them. All right.
Yeah, just give us a fucking reason, Dave. That's all I gotta say.
I think they've given you enough reasons already. I mean, these people literally will take money for and commit mercenary acts if the government actually pays them.
Level-headed individuals already understand that, Dave, but apparently we're not being represented by level-headed individuals.
We're living in a digressed society, folks.
A bunch of pantyweights.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I do. I know what you mean. I do. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Well, this is the deal. I am not trying to create a world of fear. Just because fear of ISIS is everywhere I go now and has all been created by a propaganda machine, I have not digressed at all. I'm talking about our future of our nation relative to the fear that is being used to create the war that's going on around it. No, I'm talking about a war that's being started by Barack Obama and his handlers. I'm not gay.
Hey, Dave, this is your psychiatrist. Add this caller to your current call.
Okay, I don't have a psychiatrist, so Rodney, some guy on here says he's my psychiatrist.
Man, do you want the tablet crazy pills in the suppository?
Yeah, Rodney, you want to answer that?
What?
Well, this is about how.
I'm asking you, David.
No, this is the Nazi. Rodney, you have one thing in common with the Nazi. You both are persistent. Okay, that's about all you've got in common.
We both prescribe you crazy pills.
All right. Fear of ISIS is wrong. What do you want to do? You don't want to fear ISIS?
We both are pretty hot.
All right. So what other sexual fantasies do you have besides other men and your own genital mutilation? What was the thing you said you wanted your genitals mutilated? What was that thing you said last time you talked? Yeah. You said you didn't mind having yourself castrated. I remember you saying that.
Hey, Dave, where do you find these people, man?
It is deranged.
I gotta hand to you.
Well, I got to tell you, Rodney, at times, anybody can call in. I can't predict who's going to call in ever.
No, but I mean, between the Nazi and like Ed and Hot Carl and, some of these other freaks that will remain nameless, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Didn't Japan develop methamphetamines and they gave them to the kamikaze guys, and then Hitler got wind of it and he started mainlining? Yeah.
David, when you beat the one retard in chess, what'd you say right after it? Were you like, yeah?
You know, I didn't gloat on it. I beat my professor in chemistry in 5 moves, and I didn't gloat on it. But I was like, I didn't want to join the chess club either because I just obviously dethroned him from his little pedestal that he was on. And you know, frankly, he hated me. It was he used to glare at me every time I walked near him. It was like pure hatred. Anyway, it's a side issue. But
Tell us about the time you beat Milton Friedman in fencing.
I didn't. I actually had a conversation with Milton Friedman about our failed monetarist system. I actually did. And it was about a 15-minute conversation. I asked him about all the things that were going to go wrong with too much automation and not enough jobs. He said the answer would be the free market. And I said, well, what about outsourcing of U.S. jobs overseas? That's going to go on with cheaper labor overseas. And he said, well, the free market will take care of that. I said, what about the shortages of resources if that pops up, you know, shortage of energy? How will that affect? The free market will solve that. The free market will solve everything, according to Milton Friedman. I was born addicted to nicotine. Yes, I was. My mother smoked 10 cigarettes a day during the, so I literally was jonesing for a cigarette when I was born. It's kind of funny.
That is sweet, man.
I know.
Sweet.
I couldn't control what she did during the pregnancy.
Whenever your mom would be smoking, were you always like sucking up around her trying to catch a buzz or what?
I used to like the smell of ashtrays. Yeah. No, I don't smoke. You know, but I can tell you, I thanks. Now it makes me want to go out and get my fake teeth and put them in. I'm going to get those to look good, and you won't be able to say that about my teeth. You just like to be hurtful. Anyway, my mom actually had an opportunity. Can I talk? Can I just get a word in edgewise? Who is your mother, and why didn't she spank you enough? Not that that's a good thing.
David, calm down, though. We want to clip on sides tomorrow, man.
I got to ask you something. Yeah, my mother actually had an opportunity to take thalidomide. And had she actually taken thalidomide, I would have been stubby here, sitting here, you know, with the basket case, and I would have still had a show.
You would have been like Walt Cobblepot. You'd be like the fucking penguin.
It would have been pretty funny. You know, it's not something that you want to laugh at, a person who's a basket case, but I thank God that my mother did not take thalidomide. She actually said, I don't want to take that tranquilizer. It hasn't been tested. And I'm really glad that she didn't do that. Because you imagine what a hellish life that would be without any arms or legs? Seriously, guys.
Hey, Dave, what was it like growing up having such a piece of ass for a sister? Was that difficult for you?
I didn't have a lot of time with my sister. She actually was out and about after the age of, when I was 15, she was much older than me, so.
Well, I hear you, but she was always a bombshell back in her time. I mean, did that ever disturb you? You know, she was out fornicating, things of that nature.
I don't have a hairpiece. I don't know what you mean. I don't know. My sister's never been that way at all. What are you talking about? We're not going to control the price of our American price of goods, no.
When you were out by the dumpster, didn't you ever wish, like, your sister was there with you?
No, I've never been out by the dumpster. I saw some jalapenos once, and I said, why are 40 pounds of jalapenos sitting there? They're perfectly fine. So I took them home and made hot sauce. But that's the only time I've ever been by a dumpster.
Hey, Dave,
you took Sarah out to a dumpster.
No, she was in the car watching me pick up the 40-pound box. Yeah, I saw 40 pounds. They throw food away all the time at local markets. Half of the food in America is thrown out in the back of the market, and not all of it's going into a compost bin. Trust me. This is not a farce, 778. I'm running for president. I take calls in the evening. It's called the after show. And because we talk about policy during the rest of the show, we can't really focus the whole thing on policy. We want to have a lighter conversation. And I can tell these two guys have been jonesing for a conversation for a long time. So I thought I'd give them some time here,
Dave,
clear the water.
Dave, I was going through doing a little, fall cleaning here today.
Yeah.
And I was having a look at my Sarah Hart calendar on the wall, and I realized I got to change that over to October here in the next couple of days. But got me to thinking, what the fuck am I going to do after December, man? I mean, is there a new calendar coming out? Or? Yeah,
we're talking about a new calendar with maybe the two of us, holding hands and in sensitive positions.
No, I mean, I think we should stay out of the calendar. I think it should be all Sarah, and I think maybe
God, I want to know, are you gay? because apparently somebody was upset that I was talking about whether he was gay or not. He's really upset that because I talk about issues all night, and you denigrated my campaign by claiming all I talk about is gay stuff, BS about calling each other gay, et cetera, et cetera. I'm asking, are you gay? Because it seems to be a hot subject for you.
Who are you talking to, me?
No, I'm talking to a guest 778-212-7979.
You gotta say who you're talking to before you get.
I think that guest is gay as hell, personally.
Guest of gay. Really? Well, I've got some video.
Maybe this year's calendar, you could do like a hippie back to Earth theme.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool.
I just want more Sarah, more skin. I mean, you know, something risque, Dave. I want it to be tasteful yet elegant. You know what I mean? I want it to be a piece of art.
Wow.
How about we have Sarah making out with herself?
Oh, that would be hot, brother.
Yeah, it seems like you guys have your head in the wrong place. It doesn't. You are definitely in the wrong place.
Warning.
Yeah, I can't take this call anymore. I mean, you want to talk about Sarah. You want to talk about politics here. I'm not bi. I'm not gay.
I want to talk about politics, man.
I'm not gay. I'm not bi either.
Talk about raising funds for this party, Dave, and I think if you put together a hot calendar, I think it'll be a windfall for you.
We could use some support.
Margaret Thatcher as a sex symbol, David.
I'm not a sex symbol. Missed it by that much. What's your question? Go ahead.
Yeah, the question was if you thought about selling the calendars pre-laminated this year.
Pre-laminated calendar. That sounds really interesting. Yeah, what does this have to do with politics, really? Incognito's out of here. Have a great night, all. Thanks for coming in, Incognito. Yeah. 154 would buy one. Yeah. David, after you said you would carpet bomb Liberia, I know you don't deserve a woman like Sarah. I must win her heart and get her away from your influence. Wow, Top Rodan, you're such a foo-foo liberal. It's pathetic. I mean, you add grease to the word liberal. You're slimy and greasy.
I'm normally a Top Rodan fan, but he said something really fucking crazy earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter was a good president.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you guys, I mean, I'm glad you're calling because I really cannot stand a person who stands around just raging like a liberal, saying Obama's great, our economy's booming, blah, blah, blah. You hear it all the time from these people. I'm not a racist, WSFM. I've never said a racial slur in my life. I am a social liberal and a fiscal conservative, so I kind of breached the middle there. And Ham Yolo only watches the show for you, Rodney. You created another username named Ham Yolo. Good for you.
No, I didn't, man.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
You got a following? Wow.
You got to realize, Dave, I'm a pretty big deal, and I got a lot of fans. So quit shitting on me, brother. It's not going to be good for your party.
I haven't crapped on you at all, man. I just don't like you when you crap on us. I think if you had a no crap zone here, we could just talk. Let's just not crap.
I'm trying to prepare you for the run coming up here.
Sure.
And I mean, quite frankly, you get all flabbergasted. You can't have a conversation with me, and it makes me fear for your political future.
Don't worry about my political future. It's entrenched in cement. I can't lose. I am already basically on the road to success for 2016. But you know something? If the powers that be want to keep me from becoming president in 2016, which is entirely possible,
right? I
wouldn't put it past them. If they want to try to stop me because I am unstoppable, it's more than likely that they are just trying to play out their Hillary card before it becomes obvious that she doesn't have the answers to fix this nation. Well, thanks, Minstrel. I mean, you're on the phone. Why don't you talk? You're writing in the chat. Why don't you talk? You're on the phone, man.
David, I think you could multiply your voters by like 5 times if you united with David Sponbart. Sponbart, Sponheim,
Yeah.
Don't underestimate a name, man. A tyrant's got to have a good name.
Yeah, he's got like 32 hits on his website, yeah.
I wouldn't have any problem selling you advertising on the Sponbar page. I'd be happy to cut you a nice deal.
I don't make a deal with the devil. I don't suck up to Satanism. So you got the wrong guy here. You can't buy me, man. I'm unbuyable. That's why I'm bringing up the biggest important thing here: liberty, equality, and sustainability. I'm not assuming anything, Minstrel. I'm feeling it, testing the waters. I love you, man. Hey, WSFM, I love you too, man. Thank you, buddy. Well, I'm not talking about carpet bombing women and children. I'm talking about carpet bombing an entire region and giving them advance notice. Yes. I was an ethical, humane thing to do. I mean, why would you call the Humane Society humane when they end up killing dogs and cats? I mean, seriously.
I have to say, Dave, your carpet bomb Liberia platform is one of the best ones you come up with. I'm with you on that and protectionism. On there, we're tracking, man.
I guess we've been hitting some common goals here, because I know you guys are in the room because you like what I'm saying. And you know I'm willing to step out of that liberal envelope of political correctness and breach the waters of the great unknown. But I am here to represent the American people, and if it's the right thing to do, it's got to be done. Now, my job is to communicate to you, 945, and right now you don't get it.
You know, you're about to take off. It's like you tie a flip to it.
I'm already...
You just get derailed.
I'm already blowing into the outer atmosphere. My entire career is going to skyrocket the next 2 years. That's just how it's going to happen. I saw my future when I was a child, okay? Let's just put it that way. Like Oprah, she saw herself becoming successful. I did too. And I'm just telling you, this is going to go down. We're going to make this happen. I was meant to do this. I have lost a little weight. Thank you for noticing. I pulled in about a half an inch.
Now, David.
I am, in many ways, I am psychic. Yes. Thank you for asking. Well, I'm not a slut, and I don't think Oprah's a slut either. I think that's pretty rude of you to call Oprah Winfrey a slut. I'm sure you'd lose a lot of women votes by calling that great woman.
Oprah is dry as a bone, noob.
Yeah. See, people want, David, your hair is thicker. Well, thank you. I added a thickness improved conditioner. Thanks for asking. Don't use the N-word here. I have zero tolerance for racism. Thanks. But yeah, carpet bombing a country that's completely Ebola-ridden is the only thing we can do to stop this terrible, terrible disease. Sending troops over there only cross-contaminates our own nation. When those men and women come back, and there's an incubation rate of 21 days on Ebola, we are going to see the worst absolute pandemic our nation's ever seen. And I don't want that to happen. So instead of being a weak president like Obama and preventing, he actually is encouraging boatloads of people from Africa. There was a boatload from Africa that recently arrived in New Orleans 5 days ago. 27 Africans arrived. I don't know if they have Ebola, but they did arrive, and they bring them in. Obama is allowing illegals to come over our border.
Shoot those down to the bottom.
We would have to take them out or send them to another island. Like there's got to be an island off the coast of Puerto Rico that we could send them to.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, whoever will take them, but if nobody takes them, send them to the bottom. I say they don't get to come here.
They won't be able to live long in a boat floating in the ocean. Let's just put it that way. I mean, once they got out of that boat, that was suicide. Drag King, nobody's tired of any of this. No, outside of Puerto Rico. I didn't say Puerto Rico. I got to tell you guys, many of you are not touching on issues that we need to talk about. Obviously, our government has staged a war without approval from Congress, an attack on Syria without getting the people's impression of what we need to do. They've orchestrated a propaganda campaign, first claiming that there's some caliphate, a jihadist takeover of 6 or 7 countries. That came out of the blue. And then they said that ISIS had spread everywhere instantaneously, and that came out of the blue. Yes, Sarah is going to be doing some baking coming up. She actually is going to have a baking day. I'm excited for her. Me, I get baked all the time.
All of those beautiful Syrian girls. Like, just so Obama gets a boner, man.
Well, I think Obama it's his legacy, the legacy of the worst president in history.
Yeah, I think so.
Guest chat is on, man. It's been on for some time, okay? Good job, guest 90308. Thank you. You know, I'm not going to just mince words here.
2085, and they will blame George Bush.
You know, in a way, I feel sorry for you guys because you could have been in the chat a lot longer had you just been nice and talkative, you know, like you're doing now. This is great. See, I think we're kind of finding some homeostasis. Somebody sent me a big banner that said, this is what I should do for 2016. Was this a joke? You know, I don't know. You think that's a nice banner? Homeostasis.
I don't know, man. I think it's a little weird to have a retard on your banner.
Well,
and also that short guy's pretty ugly.
He's not a retard. That is the infamous Hoppy. And we met him. You remember Hoppy? Yeah, we met him in his home state and actually tried to get to know him. We didn't realize he was lying to us at the time, but got to vote Amish? Really? I know. Liberia is, the history of Liberia?
Liberia with Hoppies. We can throw them out of helicopters.
Thanks,
Tom. And, if you hit a Liberian in the head, that's $10 EBT.
Right. I got to tell you, I'm getting very concerned. Our country has got all kinds of Africans infiltrating into our nation right now. And it's getting pretty sad, really, when you think about it. I don't understand it, because I was in various states like Minnesota, and I was at in Rochester at the Mayo Clinic, and I couldn't believe all the Somalians and Nigerians that are walking around there. Apparently, North Dakota and states like Maine have been used as dump zones by this liberal president of ours. And this has turned our nation into a veritable contagious disease center of illegal aliens. And that's not just Africans, but then there's other than Mexicans coming in over the border. And then our Secretary of Defense, Chuck Hagel, says that we've got ISIS in our country now because of this loose border operation, which is his president, Barack Obama's problem.
I'm with you, David. Send all non-whites back to where they came from as a matter of public health. You said it best.
I'm talking about Ebola victims in their country that are going to literally turn this entire world into a massive pandemic. And if we don't do something, it wouldn't matter if it was black or white. The people in that region, if this was Iceland, I would say the same thing. I would say the same thing if this was Iceland.
I want to make sure it never comes back.
Yeah, I just don't want the disease to spread. No, the homosexuality of our transgender president and his first lady is not the issue. The issue is he lied. I don't have a problem with a transgender as a first lady or a homosexual as a president. I don't. I really don't. That wasn't why I would have judged him. I would have judged him on his Muslim support, and why all the Muslim support he's done since he's become president has turned against our foreign policy, and our foreign policy is now aimless, wandering, starting wars where we don't need to start wars.
The worst kind of Muslims.
Well, he's a liar is what he is. So I'm upset the fact that he lied about his homosexuality and his transgender wife. I have no problem with black people. I really think that they should integrate, become American citizens if they are legally entering the country. But if they're coming in here illegally and then getting a green card from a Barack Obama, it's becoming a major threat to our national security. Our nation is becoming a potential pandemic zone.
There's another problem with immigration that's unspoken.
Yeah.
And it's that, see, I like chalupas, which are fine, but I'm allergic to gorditas.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get that across when there's such a language barrier with all these speaks that, no speak. And, you should be able to speak English if you're going to get a job here.
I went to a
chalupa instead of a gordita.
Gordita allergies are not uncommon, but chalupa's allergies are very common. But no, seriously, I went to a Whopper in El Paso, a Burger King, and ordered a Whopper. And I literally could not, I had to get the manager over because they don't call it Whopper in El Paso at the Burger King. They actually went, Whopper? No say, Whopper? No. And the general manager says, yeah, see, Whopper. I don't know what they were saying, but I was surprised. I don't speak Spanish. I'm a little bit rusty there. I can pick up a few words, but that's about it.
You should go in there speaking very loud, aggressive German, David.
No, not mass murder sick people. No, I think we need to look at the situation in Africa as a potential problem. We need to, at the very least, eliminate trade with Liberia. Oh no, my Spanish is good, man. Oh yes, no, I speak good Espanol. I could go over the border right now and come over, and people wouldn't even know I'm an American. Thank you, Mad Dog. But I think carpet bombing the specific infected areas with adequate advance notice so that the malingerers who are suffering and bleeding out can't make it out? I think 6 hour notice would be adequate time.
Notice like a siren.
A 6 hour notice, I think, would be adequate. So the people walking would still get out. 6 hour notice, yeah. And that would give the people that are really bad, and then we would begin looking at the problem as it foments. It's getting out of control already, folks. I mean, what would you do? I ask all of you, what would you do? Bring the Ebola patients home and help them in your neighborhood? What would many of you Democrats do to help the Ebola victims? Ugh. It's radiation. The entire Pacific Ocean is irradiated. Let me play the clip. Well, thank you. I'm not the only one talking about carpet bombing certain critical areas in Liberia. It's seriously out of control.
David, I knew a guy who got infected with Ebola once, and he
really,
they had to drag him into a cab, and if anything, I could say that this cab was rare, but I thought, nah, forget it. Go home to Bel Air.
Okay. Wow. Well, this isn't Gilligan's Island, all right? I mean, you're in La La Land if you think this is Gilligan's Island. It's just not. We're dealing with a nation that is literally becoming infected with Ebola. Every single day it gets worse. And as we sit here watching it get worse and worse and not taking selective action, we should be surgically striking Liberia right now, not Syria. I think somebody at the White House got those two letters mixed up. Liberia and Syria sound alike. Well, let's be clear. We're going to surgically strike places that don't really matter and attack Bashar al-Assad, who's a known ally of Russia. We're going to invade Syria's airspace. Now, I don't know who Liberia's ally is, but it's not Russia. But we'd rather go ahead and attack Syria, send 500 million into Syrian rebels. We don't even know if they're ISIL or ISIS or whatever they are, ICE decisions. Now, Clinton is not the person who needs to make decisions.
Even today, there are questions being raised. Now, we have no doubt they were terrorists, they were militants, they attacked us, they killed our people. But what was going on and why they were doing what they were doing?
No. Again, we were misled that there were supposedly protests and then something sprang out of that, the salt sprang out of that. And that was easily ascertained that was not the fact.
But
and the American people could have known that within days, and they didn't know that.
With all due respect, the fact protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make? 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 It is our. What difference at this point does it make? What difference at this point does it make? What difference at this point does it make? What difference at this point does it make?
Well, let's be clear. Let's be clear. It was just a bump on the road. I just don't think she has a clue as to why the American people are wondering why Chris Stevens was a bump in the road to Barack Obama. The death of a man who was critical to our foreign policy in that region is treated like some trivial non-entity. Seriously. It makes a big difference, because if we could have saved the lives of those 4 men and gotten to the bottom of why they were killed, we would get to the bottom of why our policy in Libya has been distorted and repackaged as an attack on Syria. We haven't even had a chance in the media to address the Libyan crisis, let alone Benghazi, let alone anything. This president has been flying under the radar because he's been hiding under the shield of blackness, pretending to be, oh, well, that's a racist issue if you attack me. The fact is, no, we question you, you call us racist. We ask questions about your failed policies on Obamacare, you call us racist. That's how the media approaches it. That's how the liberal media approaches it. What are your feelings about Chris Christie shutting the bridge in New Jersey? Frankly, Chris Christie's done a lot of things. That was one of the most terrible misuses of power I've seen from a governor of any state. he should be probably impeached. Well, I'd like to do something, and I don't want to defecate or have some sort of a terrible act placed upon any person. Thank you. But please understand that if we don't do something about a new party, we're never going to get accountability from these two parties. If we don't show some force in politics, I mean we the American people, not some rich group of Wall Street executives that got Obama elected, because most of the money he got was from rich Wall Street executives like John Corzine. If we, the people, don't put it together a political party, and I'm not talking money, I'm talking about your support, talking about everything, a third party to family and friends, we're never going to have any accountability from these people.
Yeah, buddy, what's going on?
Well, let's be clear. Go ahead there.
Hey, I just want to say that you are the undisputed heavyweight champion of online television.
Appreciate it.
Got the only show worth watching on here, man. You just look down the dial right now. It's like train wreck city.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, not many people talk about issues.
Any chance of you staying on for an extra hour?
Not really. Survivor Nicaragua is really important to Sarah and I, and we don't want to miss it. You know, she needs her beauty rest. So.
Got it, man. Got it. Well, hey, you guys just keep giving all you got to America, and we're forever in your debt there, discount.
Yeah, well, the bottom line is, thank you very much, caller, and I appreciate the call tonight, Rodney. It actually it came in pretty well. Things worked out real well. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I got to shine you on once in a while. You know what I mean, brother?
No, I don't. But hey, it's working. You know, thanks for giving it your best effort tonight. I really do. Thank you.
All right, hey, discount. You sir have a great Sunday. All right, I'll see you at church.
Right. We don't go to the same church. I don't attend your church. Thank you. You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension of both sight and sound, of both things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the third party zone, a place where people gather to discuss opposite views and to linger in the world of imagination. A greater place where America could someday unite. Someplace farther in the region of compatible compromises, working together to find solutions. This has been the third party zone, not the toilet zone. All right, thank you. You know, I'm of the belief right now that this show could get bigger and bigger and bigger. But the thing about our show that makes this interesting, not to mention the bad green screen effect right now, the thing that makes it interesting is we do interact with the chat. And anyone who contests that Sarah and I have done in different amounts of work, like Minstrel's saying here, is just not true. I'll check it out. Palin on Fox. I was forbidden from telling the truth about Obama in 08. Wow, thank you. That'll be cool. I'll read that. I'll watch that. Thank you. All right, so, well, my teeth will be getting improved. I'm going to get a better fit for those teeth, and we'll get the teeth back up and running. Yeah. I know, Mr. Big Mystery, you really don't care. And I realize that most people at this time in American history are basically apathetic and primarily care about themselves. But there's a time in American history where everyone starts to come together and realize that we're all screwed. Topper Dan is unable to accept any new ideas because he's been indoctrinated into the wage slave mentality. Like many people, he has become morphed with whatever the propaganda machine wants him to do. But many of you are beginning to break away from the propaganda machine, and you've turned to the alternate media of the blogosphere to actually find out, thank you, Amy, to find out new and different ways of looking at our dilemma in America. Well, I'm not looking to change the subject constantly, and when I respond to chat throughout the night with a somewhat tangential dialogue, it's because I'm trying to keep up. I read all the chat coming through, and I process it while I'm responding to your discussions and take phone calls. So break away from the propaganda machine, all of you. Become part of an awakening, if you will, and I know you are already a part of that awakening. And realize that this has momentum and inertia, whether we like it or not. And I wouldn't have kept with this plan of building a third party for all these years if you want to become a wage slave and become a socialist. I'm not your guy. If you want to take away property rights of individual property rights, I'm not your guy. I'm not a communist. I'm what I call a hybrid capitalist that wants to innovate, create brand new technologies that the government can actually help start and not get too big, but rather get this out there into the private sector so that people can start to make money. And small business growth is the key to new job opportunities in America. We know that. So all these ideas morph together into a plan to revitalize our nation, build the economy without charging a huge amount of money to do it. And certainly not giving Wall Street all that money that Obama and Bush gave Wall Street over the past, 16 years, going on 16 years. We're seeing a massive amount of money grabbing in Wall Street and no real solutions in the private sector. American jobs aren't being built. All right, Minstrel, I've allowed you in the show to prove to people that I do accept alternate views. And I'm not checking the copies of my book sold, but feel free to buy a copy if you want. I'm not trying to address any one particular person and shut them down. I've opened up the dialogue. I've kept this going. It's rolling. I don't have talks on for the third party in Capitol Hill because they don't want a third party, me off Jack. They don't want a third party in Capitol Hill. The last thing they want is a guy out here, and they have proven to me in the recent primary I ran in Washington State that the Democrats, Republicans are willing to cheat, steal my signs, and continually steal my signs. To this day, they're stealing my signs. We just saw 6 or 7 of them stole just this past week, my write-in candidacy signs. So we know that they're willing to cheat, lie, and steal, and we know this firsthand now. We're not making any ifs, ands, or buts about this. This is a willful attempt by these two parties to cheat to keep power. We know this is happening. It's not a stretch to say they're cheaters. So I will work toward building this coalition, and we'll continue the show. Tomorrow is our day off, Sunday, a night of rest and relaxation. Thanks. Thank you, 641, but make sure it comes from a U.S. citizen. We definitely want to do that. Well, I'm hanging the signs higher. I really am, but they're shutting me down all over the place. They don't want me. They'll take, no, I was the only one that they did this to. I know, I'll miss you guys too. No, they didn't steal Nick's because Nick's part of the little clique. I'm not. And I got to tell you, this is not something that I take lightly. I grew up with this fantasy that maybe America could be great. Maybe it could be free. Maybe it could someday be democratic. And I've realized over the past 54 years of my life that I'm pretty far off the reality check on that one. We are neither free nor democratic, and we are not great at this point. We have fallen into the clutch of monetary leaders that are controlling us from afar. And our nation's leaders have become like common prostitutes that'll do anything for money to get reelected. Low income is going to end up being under $20,000 a year. 100,000, our economy is going to break. It won't be able to hold up to the pressure. More and more rich people are getting richer, and more poor people are getting poorer. Thank you. 1,845,000 copies on Amazon. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, low income is virtually zero right now. I don't have any comments on esports, but thanks so much before you go out, Zatari. I haven't even looked into esports. You know, a lot of people want to talk, and I would like to stay on and talk longer. I really would. But I do not want to get Rick Larson in power because he supports war. He ratifies the war. He wants more jets flying over my head and causing 100 decibel eardrum damage to everybody living here. He wants to use our populated area as a testing ground for F-18s and F-35s. I'm going to, well, when they cheat, yeah, I can't make it through a blanket primary when my competitors cheat. They literally cheated to keep me out of the race. I got over 4,200 votes. Yeah. People wanted me. Bottom line is I've done everything right, and I'm going to continue to keep pressing forward. I'm going to be running another campaign probably in the next election in the Washington State area, as well as a national campaign for president. I won't be running for president in Washington if I run a local Washington campaign. I don't know yet. But this is getting so serious that I can feel it in my bones. The time is right for a third party. What about Dr. Ben Carson, Joy? The show is now officially over, but we can look at that issue on Monday night if you want. It's not about having the credentials anymore. Joy, do you have a question about Dr. Ben Carson? Yeah, what's your question? Yeah, I heard about Obama training foreign troops on American soil, pseudonyms. Yeah, I Twittered it last night. I tweeted it. You know, I'll do a lot of things, but it's not important what I do right now with my signs. Minstrel, I'm allowing you to be in here, and you too, Topper Dan, just so I want people to know that I do welcome free speech. No, I will not bang my interns. I don't have that kind of a sex drive. I tweeted it, yeah. No, not any other nights either. Not tonight or any other nights. I want to allow free, no, I do. I want to allow free speech, Teacup. I want to rebuild the base here in this room. I want to take you as a viewer and elevate you to a higher level. Bear in mind, thank you. Bear in mind, a lot of people feel put off when they get banned. I know that. I don't want you to feel put off. I want you to be able to engage. I don't want to be like Barack Obama and shut people down. That's the last thing I want. What do I think about Ben Carson? He's an amazing neurosurgeon who united co-joined twins. What do you think about him? My position on foreign aid is we need to cut foreign aid by 50%. Right now, our country spends $50 billion a year. We need to get it down to $25 billion a year. Blackface 2 coming out soon. I do this every night, 3 hours a day, 6 days a week. It's not a job. It's an avocation. It's like a hobby for me. No, I don't ban when challenged. I ban when people try to be majorly derogatory toward me. I am an amazing self-made man. So is Dr. Ben Carson. We have a lot in common. Well, I banned Captain Howdy because he was really coming out really weird all over the place. Well, I'm trying to not ban. I want to develop a rapport with people that have felt violated by banning. I don't support gun control. No, it's not crybabyism. It's a matter of limiting the discussion so that we can focus on issues. When the discussion is, you're a racist, it doesn't go very far. You're a scumbag. It doesn't go very far. What have you done? I don't know. You know, we can't really have a conversation. So I ban people that do that. And when they start making preposterous statements like something happened to Carl, awesome Carl, and that was ridiculous. Well, how was Captain Howdy strange? Frankly, I don't know if that person donated it to me. I really don't know. My issues are not character impersonations, and my character impersonations are not issues. Well, I know pseudonyms. You know, the number hasn't really come out, but our nation it only costs, I should say only, it costs $160 million a year in revenue when our jobs are jobbed out overseas. That's the estimates that I've heard. And that's why Barack Obama has not gotten rid of the outsourcing tax credit, because they don't see it as a significant number. 160 million, I think, is significant. I'm not a racist, and I'm not succumbing to white guilt. If I had succumbed to white guilt, I never would have done blackface. One. A back rub would be nice. 997. Start there. The tantric sex starts with a back rub. No, not really. I don't ban when I get cornered. I ban when people start making personal attacks on me. Well, Meowth Jack, what is it your right to tell Awesome Carl to deepen his voice? If he wants to sound like this, he can. Hey, it's me, Awesome Carl. That's fine. No big deal. Thank you, man. Well, Teacup, you did get personal attacks, and I've got your chat record right here. I have the chat record right in front of me, and I think it's time to take a look at it. Remember the time.
Simpson and his wife run Storybook Ranch in Tampa, which was started by Simpson's mother 32 years ago. Back in the 1990s, Simpson was arrested for battery twice. Times he served probation. That was enough to get turned down for child. So Florida said as long as he stayed out of trouble, we thought he might be a good example of someone who put his mistakes long behind him. The visit went fine.
We have to go do early child care training.
And I wanted to ask you, have a criminal history?
No, I do not.
You do not. You've never pleaded guilty to any crime. Well, then what is this?
That looks like a photograph of me when I was wrongfully accused of.
I told Simpson we were with on his earlier charge. Injuries to a different woman who claims Simpson got mad when she wouldn't have sex. He was found guilty of battery. Simpson says both incidents have been misunderstood, but says he did take anger management courses.
That was a whole different time in my life. I was a kid.
Being fair, said he's been running the center in years.
And I met the requirements. I Mr. Hanson to get this position.
I understand that. But the more I tried to ask questions, the more he.
My time, we have done nothing but exemplary service to the people of this area for 32 years. And you guys come in here with this and wasting my time?
This is how we find these jobs.
This is nonsense. You're the evil and you're the demon. I watched all your shows to catch the predator and all that. You are a piece of.
Well, okay. I came here to give you a chance to talk about this.
You can go and you can up a rope and you can pay money to get any information else from me. Okay? I'm embarrassed of you. You're a slug. You're a slug.
We're happy to listen.
Thank you. All of you, get the hell off my property. Good day.
He campaigned for his second term as
you guys are pieces of and garbage, and hell awaits.
I further asked him if indeed I was in hell. I then created a scenario for him to ask me if I was Satan. He then said,
"Could it be Satan?"
Know that the job of president is a ton of pressure. You have no days off. Some days you just want to sit around and Google your own name. Oh, Google your own name. That sounds dirty, doesn't it? Dirty in an educational kind of way. You know what it's like to Google your own name and all you get are thousands of legal documents? pressure of being president of the United States. Take a chance just to breathe a little, you know, inhale. You see, I no longer worry about Medicare or Social Security. I just hope their check's cleared.
The dictator of Tomania, the conqueror of Austerlitz, the future emperor of the world.
I don't want to be. I want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. Help one another. Despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone. Beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls. Ourselves in machine in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical. Our cleverness. We need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Life will be violent in all. Cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even throughout the world. I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. They took from the people. Don't give yourselves to brutes. Regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think. Will you diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder? Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group. The power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power. In the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Old age of security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power. But they enslave the people. Now let us fight. With hate and intolerance. key to all men's happiness. Let us all unite!
It's not as if he's getting the calories out of the bricks and sand, but they serve.
It is what it is, and I can't choose to pass them by an addict. No, I've right tried. Yes, it's my mistake. I know. I know that. Wrong. Rob Ford. But folks, I'll do anything. I don't recall. I want to be. I smoke now. I want to smoke 1,000 pounds. The city has the best brand. Crack, okay. I'm an addict, no. I've I tried. God bless. It's my mistake. I know. I have no right left. I know. That was wrong. Rob Ford. But folks, I'll do anything for more. I smoked a lot of it. Rob Ford. Smokes crack. Smoke. What it is, and I can't change. After some of the stuff that you guys see me, the state I've been in, it's a problem.
Please welcome our very special guest.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be here tonight. It's all Manhattan, as I understand, is an island. I want to thank Comedy Central for allowing me this opportunity to be at the Jeff Foxworthy roast. I like Jeff. He's my favorite comedian. I like his jokes. They're simple. Jeff is a simple man. I understand that. About me. A lot of people say I'm not the brightest bulb in the knife drawer. I've followed Jeff's career. It was funny. It's funny. Treat him. Jeff and I have something around the room. I can see that he surrounds himself with a lot of successful people. I've done the same. My cabinet is filled with I'm also proud of my Vice President, Dick Cheney. I appreciate it. Just wish I knew where he was. I never know where old is. For days I'm sitting in the Oval Office, I just walk out into the hallway and yell, Marco! I care about this country. I care about the people that are senior citizens. The highest risk of death in this country. Seniors die every day. I care about our. What about our deficit? What about our mounting deficit? What are you going to do? I understand these concerns.